Hey, everyone can see us and hear us now.
Hello.
Hopefully they can. Let's all synchronize.
Hello.
Hello. Hey. Hello.
Bass heavy today.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I started too low for the team there. And Allie, it was up to you to raise it up, and you went low too. So I don't know. It got weird.
Yeah, I went low for my range. Brandon.
If your pets just kicked up, we're very sorry.
Yeah.
Bowser's fine.
Hey, awesome. Thanks. Stink Palm says we're loud and clear. All right, so if anybody gets muted, anybody gets frozen, just let us know. We'll get it fixed as soon as possible because sometimes glitches happen. You know how it is on the interweb. Hey, this is our weekly Cyberpunk Red gameplay we do right here for Syrinscape every Thursday. Same place, same time. We've been doing this for a while. We're up to like Season 8, I think is what we're up to now. Wow. Yeah. But hey, before I get into a recap and any of that stuff, let's back up a moment. Let's go around the table. Everyone introduce yourself, tell people where they can find you online, and then introduce your character as well. Ellen, start it off so we get this thing going proper.
No worries. Hello, I'm Ellen, or if you follow me on Twitter, I'm EllenKGraham1, which you really should follow me on Twitter. That's right, my mum won't be actually proud of me until I hit 900. I know we said 800, but guess what? She's an immigrant mother. Nothing's ever good enough. So, subscribe to me there for hot nerd stuff. What's that? I say it's whatever you want. Mainly it's cosplay and silly opinions on TTRPGs and other nerdy stuff. I'm also a creator and performer for the award-nominated variety TTRPG podcast Roll to Cast. That's ROLE to Cast, which I share this pleasure with the lovely Phil, who sits below me.
Hello.
Hello. And we do a different game system each season. So we've done Cyberpunk 2020 and Red, Vampire the Masquerade, Pulp Cthulhu, Kids on Bikes, The Witcher. We're currently doing Avatar Legends. And yeah, each season is its own self-contained story with full scores, sound effects, really, really professional editing. So check that out if you want a nice, neat story that packs a punch, that changes genre, with new characters every season. So subscribe to Roll to Cast. If you already listen, have you given us a rating? Do it. But, you know, a good rating. Otherwise, keep that to yourself. And if you head over to our YouTube channel, I also have a video essay there called Dice, a video essay, because I'm very unimaginative. And it is all about the history of gaming dice and how that kind of relates to storytelling in human society. I did a lot of research. There's like at least 5 costume changes. So yeah, find Dice, a video essay, and please give it a thumbs up or honestly a thumbs down. I just want some interaction. God, please, I'm so lonely. And today, I'm playing Alley Katz, the rocker of your dreams.
Nice. Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon Perkins, also known as DM_Brando. You can find me on the socials at DM_Brando. And I would like to tell you about a book that I've been working on called Sola, Harvest of Souls. That's Sola spelled S-O-L-A. The first installment of this series has already been completed. You can find it on royalroad.com. And I hope you look it up and enjoy it. It is for free, costs no money. However, I do have a Patreon, so if you're interested in supporting someone such as myself in their writing journey, feel free to do so. And I will be eternally grateful and will maybe even say your name at some point on social media for saying, thank you for supporting me, so-and-so. And if your handle actually is so-and-so, then you better get on that.
You're already ahead of the game.
Yeah, there you go. All set.
You just got the shout-out.
You just got the shout-out, so
owe him some
sign
money.
up for the Patreon. You owe me money.
You owe him money now.
Just start naming people. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, bro.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Jeffrey Bezos, for
Matt
that wonderful
Mercer.
contribution you promised me of $1 billion.
Yes, a mere pittance of $1 billion.
Chump change.
Yes, American, please, because I live in Canada and that's gold here. them American dollars. So, anyway, today I'm going to be playing Rush, the fixer that will set you up with anything you need and is well known for having great t-shirts.
Very true.
True.
Phil.
Mine's dirty because I've been wearing it too much.
And is now wearing a tie.
Oh, yeah, he's
A little
upgraded.
different.
His wardrobe and
That's right.
style seems to be boosted up there.
Bumped up. Know a thing or two
Hello,
about
friend
Japan?
base. I'm Bill. And
Hi, Phil.
woo!
Phil.
Hi,
I'm Scruff
Phil.
on social media with 2 Ks and 1 or 2 Fs. Because that's confusing, just the way I like it. But you can find me. I'm sure you can find me. You're very clever people. But yeah, that's me on social media. But I'm also part of Rollcast as well. I've done 3 of the seasons. So I will point you towards our Patreon if you do like what we do. You're already a listener. Go have a look at what our Patreon offers. So you get early episodes, get access to our members only Discord, and the members only part of our Discord. And then we also do this awesome live stream every month, which is for everyone, but the higher tiers get to choose. I just ran Mouse Guard last weekend, and that was awesome. I really enjoyed it. So all our streams are available on YouTube. Go back and watch them. We have a lot of fun doing those. And again, similar to the podcast, we did a different game every month, and we have our patrons choose. I haven't actually put it up yet, but a little preview, a little sneaky sneak is next month we actually have a special guest. We have Doug Lewandowski lined up from the Kids On series, Kids on Bikes, Kids on Brooms, or Teens in Space. We're gonna put that choice, one of his games, and he'll be playing alongside us, which is super awesome. He's a great guy. We've chatted to him before. The podcast also has interviews with creators, so we're all about bigging up people in the background as well. So yeah, that's the sort of peripheral stuff that we do as well, just to entice you a little bit more. But today I am playing Bud, a solo who can work out whether he's just jet lagged or this is a really weird situation we got ourselves in.
I'm sure it's just jet lag.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm Rob Mulligan.
Good sleep.
What was that?
Once I have a good sleep, it'll all go back to normal.
We'll see. I wouldn't roll your dice on it, though. So yeah, I'm Rob Mulligan. I'm the founder of Cybernation Uncensored. Cybernation Uncensored is your place for all kinds of streaming content. We have all kinds of live gameplay, series, tutorials, GM tips. It's not just me, other game masters as well. So check out Cybernation Uncensored both on Twitch and on YouTube. Give me a subscribe, give me a follow. I'd really appreciate that. Also, check us out on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you see social media. You can find Cybernation Uncensored. We also have an active Patreon. We've been getting a lot of new patrons joining that lately, some new gameplay opportunities, some rotating seats. There's also going to be some new launched tiers there with some new partnerships. I'll be announcing that here real soon. The other thing I want to mention is myself and my beautiful wife, Valerie Mulligan, who you might have seen in Team Veritas or previous streams that I've done. We're both going to be at Gen Con this year. We're going to be helping the Syrinscape team run the booth, so make sure you stop by booth 1740. It's right across from our Talsorian Games. So, stop in, check out our Talsorian, and then stop by the Syrinscape booth, say hi to me and my wife Val, grab a picture, help us promote, post online, all that good stuff. It'd be great to meet anybody that's there, actually in person. It's been a really long time since I've been out. I hope I remember how to act normal in public. It's going to be a little confusing. It's been a long time. But anyways, yeah, aside from Cybernation Uncensored and all that stuff and being out the event and all that stuff, make sure you take a moment to show Syrinscape some love. It's the reason we're here every week. It's an awesome tool for your gameplay. Whether you're a game master or a player, it adds sounds to the stream, to the session, and really helps the game become immersive. And you don't just need to do it across the internet like we do every week. You can do it in person around the table and use the effects. And it's free to give it a try. So sign up for free, get the free trial, and whether you're a game master or a player, bring it to your game, and I guarantee you're going to love it and you're going to keep using it. It's really awesome. And lastly, make sure you share this link. Share the Syrinscape Twitch channel. After you follow and subscribe, make sure you share it. Let people know that we're live. The more people that tune in, the more fun that we can have, the more streams and goodies we're going to be able to add in the future. So we want to keep this thing growing and getting more and more popular. That's why we put so much effort into it. So having your support means a lot. So thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's it for the plugs and the promos. Let's get into the gameplay. Like I said, we do this every week. It's been a little odd the past few campaigns because Brandon had some family stuff to deal with. We had Rockette had to dip out for a little bit, and then she had to leave again. We had a guest player come in. So the last few campaigns have been really interesting and fun, and I recommend everybody check out the VODs. It's all on Syrinscape YouTube. You can catch up with everything we've been through. But ultimately, right now, the team has been brought to Tokyo, to Arasaka. That's where Rush has been. The team got there. They went through a sort of inauguration, introduction, or initiation, I guess you could call it, into Arasaka, where they had a little brain dance, which gave them the history of Arasaka and stuff, with a little touch of brainwash, a little bit of propaganda. Bud was the only one to notice it. Rush has already been through the ringer. He's already kind of a different man. They've noticed, not just dressing nicer and increase of wardrobe and style, seems to carry himself a little bit higher rank or something. He just seems to have more hookups and things. But yeah, everyone's kind of rocking that drink the Kool-Aid vibe, Everyone's loving Arasaka and has the loyalty to the corp, except for Bud. He's kind of seeing through it, but he's playing along because he knows what kind of sticky situation he's in and the severity of being in the hands of Arasaka. It's not, it's kind of dangerous. If you're not familiar with the history of Arasaka and the caliber of that corp, check them out, look it up. It's pretty serious. But aside from that, Hades is still in therapy. She's been forced into a coma and brain dance back in Night City, trying to get out of her kind of messed up situation. Check out the previous campaigns to learn about that. But yeah, I think that almost covers everything. Oh, and when you had the dinner, Arasaka gave the little gift, a little mini Kentana Mono 3, and everybody got to have it pop out with their own unique color and the clear crystal blade. But it also pricked the thumbs of Bud and Allie. But Rush says, "Oh yeah, that's normal, just a little insurance," as the higher ups kind of explained, just a little insurance to the loyalty, which it also said loyalty in Japanese on the handle. So they were pricked with something, and they're just acting like it's normal. Bud playing along once again. But yeah, I think it's some fun role playing. I'm really enjoying it, honestly. But
excuse me, I protest.
But where we left off, the team is back up in the conference room, kind of going over plans, because Arasaka said, "Look, we have a bigger plan for you and the team, and we'll break it down to you soon and get you back to Night City. But first, we have just a little mission to handle while you're here." It's basically, there's some type of press release with this woman who's part of Meryl, Tsukaga, and Finch. Victoria Shaw's her name. She's the CMO. They're doing some type of partnership with one of the factions of Arasaka. They're holding client shares and partners with Arasaka's new security system development. So it's a big deal. But this press release needs a little bit of a disturbance. Arasaka needs this Victoria Shaw taken out. It needs to send a very heavy message to the investors and the things behind this, whether they take her out right prior to the speech, during the speech, or right after. It needs to happen the day of the speech. So they're in the conference.
Yes, she is Arasaka, but just different Arasaka.
Oh no, exactly. There's different factions.
Yeah.
So it's different factions of Arasaka, and the one that
God.
you're involved with is the Taka, which is basically the Hawk, led by Yorinobu. And again, everybody check out the previous sessions, the previous campaigns, get all those juicy details. Otherwise, watch the session. You'll learn as we go. But yeah, you're in the conference room. You're going over it. Rush has been here. He's very confident in the company. In the conference room, like I said, there's the bar with snacks, drinks. There's the huge wall of holographic screen with news playing. Rush has access to that, and yeah, you're there to kind of plan out how you're going to handle this press release, which is happening. We'll kind of streamline things. We'll say this is obviously midday or evening. You're making your plan for the next morning for the press release. So you'll spend this night making this plan. Then you can get some sleep, and the next morning you'll act out this plan. But let me bring up some Syrinscape City sounds, and I'll pass the mic to you all. You can take over the role play and start discussing your plans.
Okay, so you go.
You go. No, you go.
Oh, why? Thank you. So what kind of information do we have on this conference? Security, detail? What kind of muscle are we expecting? Max tack equivalent? Few bodyguards?
Well, I mean, it is Arasaka.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do we, if we crash the conference itself, we may be running into a meat grinder.
And I want to interject for a moment too, just to give you guys a little bit of power here for Rush, because you've been here, you're confident, you have access to this holographic screen that accesses a sort of fragmented internet. It's a bit odd, but it seems like Arasaka has been working on something. You're familiar. You don't know a lot about it, but you know it's called the Makoshi, and it's some type of data fortress or system that they have built in within fragmented internet that they're kind of bringing back. They're kind of ahead of the game here a little bit. But because of that, you can access the system and answer a lot of these questions. If you want to know what type of security details at the press conference, any sort of info, you actually can access things beyond just a little localized data terms. So questions like that, go for it. And feel free to use player agency Rush to make up stuff. But I will interject, this is Merrill Finch Asukaga sort of press conference, not really Arasaka so much. So security is probably just going to be local hire cops, off-duty cops, or private security. There probably won't be a lot of Arasaka presence there. But I'll let you take it from there. Sorry.
Is it going to be the same as a kind of library role, or is it just more readily available?
Readily available to Rush, as long as you're here. Yeah.
Oh, it's a Rush. You hold all of the cards, baby.
All right.
Okay, well, we should find out, exactly where is the conference being held, what the security kind of situation is like, and I guess nearby places that maybe, Bud, you can post off at and just take her out?
We're thinking just a clean, long-distance tapping.
I mean, if we can, right? I mean, it's this is just a stepping stone to do the real job for Arasaka, so there's no need that we need to put a spin on this. Do it anything with any more flavor than it needs, right? They just want it done.
Yeah. Well, can you bring up a view of the building that we're supposed to be hitting?
Yeah. Hey, Makoshi, show us the building.
Yeah, this sort of hologram thing pops up, and you basically see a large public gardens, as I think it was either Anzu or Mr. Yinshaw, your handler or his assistant, that mentioned it was going to be at the gardens, public gardens, but it's at the Hamari Kayu Gardens, so Hamari Kayu Gardens, right in downtown Tokyo. It's a large garden, probably about almost the size of a football field, so almost 100 yards by 100 yards, if you can think of that, or meters. And It's large. It has a pond in it. You can see by this hologram, it has a large pond kind of in the center with a bridge. It has, let's see, some old 17th century shogun villa sort of stuff built up. So it has some preserved historical parts to the garden off to the north side. But on the south side, where it kind of aligns all these other shopping centers, living quarters, and other buildings and such, is kind of the open park area. And it looks like that's where they're going to fence it off, or kind of make a border, have people kind of gathered there. There should be press there. They're going to have a little makeshift sort of stage and podium where she can make her announcement. And it looks like they're going to be blocking off that street. And that's what you're getting up as far as public plans from the company and the park.
If you want me to make this kind of shot, I'll need something high-powered.
Yeah. You don't have a sniper rifle, do you?
No. Nice of the company to let me keep my AR, but no, I need something a bit more long-range.
Do we still go for that strategy, or do we just try and get up and close?
Well, I don't know if we need to get up and close. If we could tamper with some of the technology that's going to be there, an explosive microphone with our finger on the button might be good, and also leave an impact. You know what I mean? Send a message.
I mean, I like that.
It
Sneaky.
sounds like we're leaning to making it happen during the speech, not before or after, right?
I think so, right? They want a message sent to the other factions. Before and after, it's too easy for them to put some sort of spin on it.
That's true. It's also harder to know where
where she'll be. Yeah. We have a specific timeline here. But how do we go about swapping out a piece of tech like that inside her I suppose we could find out what company is doing the AV, the audio-visual tech for the conference.
Yeah.
Infiltrate there.
Is there anyone speaking before her? We would need a device that
something
we
we
can
can
activate
trigger
remotely. Otherwise, some goon goes to mic test and ends up with this hole in his cranium.
And that's if we want to do the exploding mic. I'm just thinking if you want to have fun with it, that's one way to do it.
That is fun.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm fine with a good old sniper shot.
Well, we could still find me somewhere to post up as a contingency. And you might even need to be in short range to activate a device like that reliably. And then you'd need me to cover your exit anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikoshi.
So we do both.
Mikoshi, would we be able to requisition some guns, ammunition, some explosives, maybe even a microphone explosive?
Instantly you see a sort of list of requests, supply and demand within the Arasaka company. But you can see that this section is kind of blocked off, and it says, "Please see your manager or superior."
Wow.
So it seems like absolutely, like these sort of things can be requested and ordered, and they probably have supplies for the company and things, but you need to request it. You don't have direct access to that.
Been parental locked.
That's humbling.
Looks like they trust us yet.
I mean, they said that we need to prove ourselves with this mission.
That's true.
Exactly what they said. So, we do this, and I wouldn't take it personally, Rush.
It's just, the word family's been booting around. And,
sometimes you need to prove yourself to family.
I guess so.
I mean, otherwise they'd just be accepting anyone into their folds, right?
That's true. All right.
Whose family's perfect after all, as well,
Exactly. You can. I'm sure there's no example of a better family anywhere in the world right now.
It's actually not the point I was making, but anyway.
Can I start your brainwashing, Phil? I don't know. I'm hoping I'll get to the point where maybe my rhetoric will make Bud have to roll resist torture and drugs.
Is there an opposed torture and drugs roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly the door to the conference room opens and Anzu comes in with his little clipboard sort of hologram iPad thing, and yeah, he walks over to you, Rush. He nods, walks over to Rush.
Okay, who am I? What am I, chopped liver?
Rush, can we have a word?
Rude.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can smoke in here, right?
No, we prefer not, please.
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. Does he have a coffee or something?
Yeah, sorry, I should have told you. I go to the roof for my cigars, so...
Okay.
Yes, you are welcome to the roof. Yes.
We've got a nice garden up there.
I was gonna say, it looked lovely from the welcome video.
Hey, anyway, we're not in trouble already, are we, Anzu?
No. Just a moment with Rush, please. And he
sure.
kind of gestures for you to take a step over near him in the room and leans into you, Rush. And Allie and Bud, give me a perception.
We're going to put some points in lip reading. So at 23. Practice.
Wow.
Net video.
Yeah.
Wow, both of you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you notice that Anzu leans into Rush, trying to talk, not being so secretive. He doesn't seem like he's trying to hide anything, but he's definitely having a one-on-one at this moment. But you can overhear him, clearly. And Rush, he leans in and says, I've been discussing with Mr. Yunshaw and Mr. Yorinobu, and it seems there's some concern on the missing member. We do have access to Mr. Kenji for any net running fixer hookups that you might need and such, but they're concerned about your lack of team member in Netrunner. We've looked up this one, and he looks at his paper again, Minji Haiti's Jin, and she seems to be currently in some therapy situation. My question is, from Mr. Yinshaw himself, how important is this Hades Minji Yin to your team, or should we find a replacement?
She's vital. She's extremely important to the team. She's a very powerful member. I've had her run tech in one of my own night markets, and that's not something that I take lightly.
Oh, okay.
But
Hades is non-negotiable. I'm sorry for overhearing, but those are just the facts.
Now, given the circumstances, I know that there's a timeline, and we got to do what's best for Arasaka right now. Just get this done. If she is unavailable, I do understand if we have to bring in someone else.
Okay, very well. Always company loyalty first, and I appreciate that, Rush. Thank you. And he looks over towards Bud and Allie as well and nods and leaves the room.
Anyway.
Well, I guess if we're just smoking in here anyway.
And just a side note to play.
Fires.
And a side note, just for the roleplay side of things too, Allie, you do feel the importance of Hades. You still care about Hades 100% the way Alley Cats would. However, there is a slight layer on top of that, just like Rush expressed, where it's like Hades is vital to the team. Love her, care about her. She's part of the team, whatever, important. However, whatever's important to Arasaka first. I understand if you need to replace her.
Yeah.
So it's still that creepy vibe.
We got to do the job. It just seemed like it was unsure whether they were saying that's a permanent replacement.
I think what they're saying is that once we get back to... Sorry.
Oh, well, I was just going to, they've said we'll need you to do another job, but if we're being considered for long-term for Arasaka, it's like, yeah, nah, man, I'm not permanently getting another Netrunner.
No, that was
right. I think
yeah, that was definitely the vibe.
Yeah.
They're considering replacing her for our Night City Lego tour.
Yeah, just as far as
yeah,
the team, was asking Rush the importance of her, and if that's the case, Rush expressed the importance, however, ended with, but, company first. So it's whatever they deem.
Sorry.
Okay, you had some bad...
Sushi didn't agree with me.
Sushi never agrees with you, it seems.
It's just I can't get past the raw part. I know it's not even real fish, but we do have access to this Netrunner, right? We have this expert Netrunner here in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So we should probably have a look at using that, right? Can we get them into the AV system for this conference, and what would that get us?
That's a good question.
Well, what if they have temporary ring of defenses set up?
And use... I mean, that's a big if, though, right? If they have some sort of automated defenses set up, that we could turn against our target. That would be great. But we won't know that till we get there, right?
Yeah.
Will they be doing any kind of... pre... I mean, this is a big kind of event, right? Or it's a press conference of some importance. Surely they're going to be doing pre-checks for everything, setting up some sort of, either temporary staging or platforming or just security detail. Should we actually get on site and scope it out?
I mean, it couldn't hurt.
That way we can actually physically find out if there's any good vantage points.
Yeah.
Get the lay of the land.
Yeah. Are we leaning towards
outside?
Why not?
What was that, Bud? I missed that, sorry.
I said, are we even allowed outside?
Oh, yeah,
right.
Absolutely. And to recap that, because in previous session, I know there was a lot to unpack, a lot of things that the team went through. But one of the things Anzu, and I think it was even Mr. Yinshaw himself said, was, do this little job for us so we can get to the real reason you're here, which is the gig in Night City. We'll talk about that after. But the reason they're having you do this thing is because they can't be seen. None of their faction of Arasaka can be attached to this. They need to send that message, but keep it really anonymous. And they know that you guys are pretty much free in Tokyo. Nobody knows you here. You won't appear as Arasaka operatives at all. You know what I mean? So you are able to go outside and probably move in the shadows a little easier than Arasaka here.
Well, should we do the tourist thing?
Sure.
Might as well. We got a little bit of time.
Great.
And,
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
We didn't make it all this way for nothing. Oh my god.
Doggy.
Wow. Even their synthetic animals seem so realistic. Shut up.
Do we have to let our handler know that we're taking a field trip?
Yeah, pretty much any plans that you do, you can just carry out, try to complete the mission, get back to them at the end, unless there's something that you need. If there's anything that you need to help you along the way or whatever, Rush can hit up Anzu, pretty much Anzu's the end to Mr. Yinshaw, so.
Oh, well, I'd suggest you put in a request for that high-powered rifle, see if we can get it.
Yeah. Anything else I should request? Should I see if we can get some killer nanobots to put in her water? I don't know.
I don't know what's possible out here. That sounds pretty sci-fi, man.
Is this still on company dime, or do we have to dip into our own expenses?
Well, let's ask. Let's ask first. But yeah, a small handheld explosive that'll fit inside a microphone seems like a pretty dastardly plan there.
Yeah.
See if it's possible.
I wouldn't even mind some more different kind of rounds. an EMP grenade, just in case we need to take out their defenses from a certain area so we can strike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say, EMP, let's get a sniper rifle. Let's see if there's any kind of nanobot or tiny explosive.
And let's meet this Netrunner.
Kenji.
Yeah. Let's see how he plays.
Don't forget, it's Kenji, the operative that you rescued from the ghost town that got you involved with Arasaka in the first place. So you know who Kenji is. He's actually grateful to all of you, remember?
That's
well, let's go.
Nice.
Yeah. He's pretty happy, bro. Let's go meet him. Right? Let's go have some food at the park, right? Where we can see the place that we're gonna do the op, and chat to him about like where he's gonna be placed, and then in the meantime we can put in a request for some materials and see what we get, right?
Yeah.
Sound like an initial plan?
Yeah,
Sure.
And we get to have lunch.
Yeah, we get to have real Tokyo street food. We're already stuffed right now, but
Yeah, but the second dinner.
that's right. All right, I guess we leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to call Anzo or text him?
So I'll message Anso about our request and what we're looking for.
Is it Enzo or Enzu?
Anzu.
Sorry,
A-N-Z.
Anzu.
Enzu. Sorry.
Yeah, you
my
messaged
cousin's
him.
name is Enzo, and I'm like, that's a very Italian name for
It's
this
Enzo.
Japanese man.
But no, you
That's
message
Stranger Things, it's
Anzu
different.
and send your list of things and requests, and he messages back within minutes, just saying, yes, Rush, let me know what you're looking for, and I can get a request from inventory. So it sounds like you can just give specifics, and he'll check inventory and get the request for it.
Great.
Man, excellent quality sniper rifle with a scope, please, and a smart link.
And do you want it to be silenced or?
I mean, as silenced as they can make it. High-powered rifles are pretty hard to actually silence.
Yeah.
Most ones in Red are suppressed, which makes it harder to pinpoint where they come from and stops your ears exploding. But yeah, just excellent quality cyberlink scope. That would be primo. Smart rounds would also be great.
Yeah.
New leather jacket. What else? I'll be up there for a while, so maybe like a case of beer.
Snacks.
Some snacks would be good.
Some of that Pocky.
Oh yeah, definitely some Pocky.
I feel like if no one does, I'm gonna cut off Bud at some point. Okay, we can't. As much as I love the Decadence, we can't go balls to the walls crazy on.
Oh, sorry. I just figured if it was on the company card,
Yeah.
We're not. We haven't made the gig yet.
We'll
like
try to
pre-
look professional for this first one.
And then-
Give
and
the
then we can
impression of
absolutely just
professionalism.
and then we can rebel a little bit, huh? On that seed.
Let's not
Look.
go crazy.
I'm really into this Arasaka business. They hooked me up with a McMansion back home. So
Oh, fantastic! That's great.
yeah, Cyphers is being looked after. I'm just saying, if we play our cards right, this could go real well.
That would be great. And I mean, I'm sure once Hades comes out of recovery, it'd be great if she could move into an actual place instead of that crappy.
Yeah, we're all gonna live in
secondary
Beaverville. We're all gonna live in Beaverville. It's gonna be so nice.
I don't
Perfect.
get what your freaking tone is, man.
What do you mean, me? No. I don't have a tone.
Okay, first
I'm
of all,
sorry
you're
that-
smiling, and that's weird.
I'm sorry that some people want nice things for their partners and the people they care about. Is that a friggin' crime? Are we going to go PvP?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Bud needs to roll either an acting or a stealth. Yeah, I think acting would be most appropriate, and I think Allie and Rush should do like a human perception.
I would probably like wait until we're out of the building to be having this conversation. Just FYI.
Oh, now that you know it's a PvP.
Yeah, that's right.
You might have role played a little too soon.
Oh my gosh, that is a fun game though. Tell us in chat who would win in a fight.
No, you got to make the roll. You've already said these things. You've reacted to the situation.
But I don't know, Allie. You just don't sound like yourself. You're acting a little weird.
All right, am I rolling human perception?
Yeah. You and Rush need to do
nailed
human
me.
perception.
Freaking nailed me, both of you.
Yeah, it seems, as Bud is saying this, Allie, Rush, you definitely get the feeling like, he's not acting normal. Like, both of you feel completely normal, but let's not forget that you're brainwashed, and normal to you is not normal. But you can tell, just like Rush said, with Bud smiling and Allie noticing, like, him kind of down-talking the company, it's just not lining up with what it should be. It's not that serious, like you're not gonna, let me talk to the bosses, narc them out, something's wrong. But something's a little off with Bud. Both of you.
Yeah, I think after you said that's acting like yourself, I'll maybe just like get in Bud's face a little bit. Nothing like that, but just like slowly and steadily. And I do believe that Allie is a bit taller than Bud.
Sure.
And just, I think I'm fairly sure we were talking about that, just
especially in heels.
Yeah. And she's just gonna say, well, maybe you don't really know me, Bud, but that's not my problem. Are we gonna do this job?
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing the job.
Okay. Well, let's go have fun and be tourists.
Yeah, and within that conversation,
I'm gonna clack off in my heels.
As you clack off, and I mean, within that conversation, Rush, you get a ping back on your agent from Anzu, and it says, excellent quality, high-powered sniper rifle with smart rounds approved, in the pickup locker awaiting. Are there any other supplies you need? So it sounds like he's tapping into that Makoshi inventory that you didn't have access to. He's putting in the request, and he got this approved. It's waiting downstairs for you to pick up for the gig. He's asking if there's anything else that you might need.
Got my toys. You should go nuts, guys.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind. They're pretty expensive. What, 3 EMP grenades?
Guys, the limit. Come on.
And I would just like a better gun with a specific launcher under barrel, because I don't actually have one.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, my skills are mainly social and stuff. Like I'm pretty good with weapons. Like, yeah, like a great quality gun would be ideal. But I don't think I actually need anything crazy.
Okay.
What's your primary weapon skill? It's handguns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then an assault rifle with an underbarrel probably wouldn't be the best option. Maybe just getting those EMP grenades to use your athletics to throw might be a better thing. But you tell me, Allie's skills better than me. Whatever you want to request, just tell me, and then Rush, you let me know what you want to request. But it sounds like you have access to the Arasaka inventory to get this gig done.
You're gonna get us anything.
What is the Bud? What's the damage like on those monoblades?
So the monoblades are great. They I don't know about the mini Wakizashi blades that we got given, but the mono 3s, they go off your melee weapon skill, and they're 4d6, but they ignore 11 points of armor.
Oh
So yeah. So
minis do
basically
2d6, by the way.
2d6 and ignore the same amount.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, because my melee is pretty good. I have a whip, but like, I want to ask.
I mean, Mono 3 is kind of my thing, but okay, sure. No, it's fine. They're amazing. Get one.
I would like to get one, please. Are they? Can you dual? Can you dual wield them?
They're rate of fire 1, so there's not much point apart from aesthetics.
Yeah, it's a two-hand. Yeah.
I mean, aesthetics is pretty cool. But I do
Yeah,
have
it's
a
a
whip as well.
two-hander.
A whip in one and
you put in a request. Within minutes.
Cream piece. And
Yeah.
And a cute as hell Hello Kitty monoblade, please.
Yeah, it's like you can have a charm off the
Yeah,
cute charm
yeah,
off.
the end has just
the
like
hilt, yeah, of course.
so many charms.
Okay, great.
Within minutes, Rush gets a ping back from Anzu with approved Katana Monoblade 3, 2-minute wait on a 3D printed Hello Kitty charm attachment that they're putting in. Just 2 minutes of 3D printing that attachment. You've also been approved for 3 EMP grenades, all green lit. Everything's waiting downstairs in inventory. Anything else? He replies back. So, Rush?
Come on, Rush.
Gosh, I don't know what I even want. Is there anything better than my gun? I've got excellent quality gun here.
You can ask for anything, though. This is, any type of supplies or things you might need for this gig. That it doesn't necessarily have to be guns. You know what I mean? It can be anything.
Yeah.
What do we ask for the explosive? Some sort of explosive? Or you said nanobots?
Yeah.
You can ask for
Or just
anything.
a fat stack of cash.
All of that.
Could you ask for that? Because that's kind of your wheelhouse, Rush. Like, if we need
Just
to pay
money.
people off, that's the what's a better weapon than Eddie's,
It's true. Are eddies like an international currency now?
Eddies are not. I think that's the old school paper. I'm not sure, but like the modern euro dollar, which I think was the nickname Eddies was off of previous. But I'd have to read that lore in red. But yeah, either way, international money is the same. We can just say credits or something. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So some bribe money then.
Yeah.
And the tiny explosive that hopefully has a good enough range to be able to kill somebody that's right in front of it. And and the power too. We don't want to just maim this person. We're looking to finish the job. Be kind
Did they
in
say
that way.
take her out? Or did they just say send a message?
No, they want her
No, I
taken
think
out.
they want her dead.
Yeah, they want her dead.
Yeah,
Kill
they don't
leaders.
care if she's got a family or anything like that. They just want her dead.
Why would they care about that?
Yeah, it's Arasaka. They don't care.
That's nonsense.
Family.
What about I don't know, what about like a signal jam or something? So if they try and call for reinforcements.
Yeah. I mean, I've also got the EMP grenades, but that's only
Yeah.
dependent
It's
on
mainly
if
for
I'm in the
cyberware,
right
right?
area.
Yeah.
If I didn't already have my subdermal armor, I'd probably get it right now. But, well, hey.
How about a tank? Can they get us a tank?
All right. I mean, let's stick to things that we can
Okay,
carry.
all
maybe.
right.
Slash
Okay,
operate.
sure, whatever.
Plus, it's a little slow to drive.
I get it.
Parking's terrible.
Just
Yeah.
wanted to, I didn't even really want it for the job. I just wanted to see if we could get one,
But yeah, you do get a ping back on the things that you've put in so far while you're still discussing other options. You're already getting ping back from Anzu Rush, and you're approved for a 5K credit, a 5K credit to use to kind of like grease palms or things like that, or for expenses. You're sort of per diem per gig. So you've been approved for 5K. And then it also, you've been approved for a micro C6, which is basically a small explosive. It's micro. I mean, it is so tiny it easily fit inside of a microphone or anything even smaller. And it gives blast radius the same as a grenade. What a grenade is 5d6. This has 6d6 damage. I'm not sure. I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, 66 micro C6. So it's kind of like a condensed nanoplastique. But you've been approved for one. It's waiting for you, along with that 5K.
So would there be concern of collateral damage with that kind of radius?
Do we care?
You could ask, but they never mentioned anything of that. You don't know.
Okay.
Well, if we do it once she's on stage, it's probably all right?
Probably.
I mean, we might take out some bodyguards, but they're fair game, right?
So how about this? We get our Netrunner to get Allie on the staff for the setup. Allie gets in using her talents for acting the part and her knowledge of AV stuff from her shows, so that she is part of setup. She can plant the bomb, and we have me posted up, just in case something goes wrong. Make sure the job definitely gets done.
All right. Now, we don't know what type of microphone this is going to be, but maybe if we get like a basic BD that explains microphone repair, that might give Allie a bit of an advantage when it comes trying to hide this thing.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's find out what service they're using for setup if they're in-house or contracting it out, and see if we can't get you on staff.
Yeah, and we've got some eddies that we can use. Well, I guess, credits that we can use to, convince people that you're just perfect for it.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's rental hire for tech equipment, trust me, they do not care. They do not care about anything or anyone, just as long as the stuff gets delivered and set up.
All right.
In my opinion. No slander to any techs out there. Cool. All right. Well, do we go scope out the place, get some food?
Yeah.
Away?
Figure we meet the Netrunner at the park, right, and have a scope it out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna message Ansu about that BD real quick. So just asking about a BD on microphone repair that we could use with Allie, so that she has something that she can work with, some experience.
You get a message back asking if Allie has a chipware socket installed.
For what, BDs?
For chips, to get skills and things. You have a chipware socket?
Chill skips? Or do you just have a neural interface? Chipware is a different thing on top of
you would
neural
need a
interface.
chipware socket, which holds like 10 chips at a time.
Maybe not.
You'd probably know if you got it, because you've probably been making use of it. It basically lets you insert any skill up to like +2 or +3.
I think it's up to a +3, if I'm not mistaken.
+3.
But either way, you get a message back when you say that you're not sure if you don't think Allie has a chipware socket installed. You get a message back saying, yes, we can prepare any type of tutorial BDs, but this might take at least a day to source and prepare and implement into our system.
When is the press conference?
The press conference is tomorrow at 12 noon in the park, and right now it's evening, nighttime. We'll say like maybe not 9 at night, 8 or 9 at night here in Tokyo.
So do I have time for that?
No.
Do they know who is doing the tech side of the press conference?
Yeah, Rush can pull that up in the on the screen.
Okay, so I'll pull that up in Mikoshi.
Yeah, you pull it up, and you can see that Tokyo Events, basically, Tokyo Events is just a private company. They do a lot of generic city-funded events. They don't do a lot of private sort of like fun concert events and things like that. They strictly do kind of like stuff like this, boring press conferences, generic little charity things, stuff like that. But they're supposed to be providing the stage, the microphone and sound system, and some lighting, and in case there's weather changes and such.
Okay, well, can we get me on the list somehow? Maybe that's a Kenji job, just muck around with the staff list.
Yeah, maybe Kenji could get close enough to some access point to this company, be able to change the employment list, just add you right on there, get you in charge of the right equipment.
Are there, if we're at the park, like, are there any people already setting up? I imagine that it would be at least a one-day kind of prep.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we can do this. You've put in the request for the supplies, you've got them, you're able to go down to the locker pickup and pick up all the things that you mentioned before, and at least have them if you need them. Maybe you'll leave them here while you go and scout. But you meet up with Kenji. He meets you down in that locker room and instantly, bows to you. You can tell like he definitely is showing respect to all of you, not just as a sort of Arasaka partner, but you can tell like he definitely appreciates all of you saving his life. There's a different level of respect from him. You can tell without even doing a human perception check. But all of you get together. Anzu basically explains to you, Rush, and I'm just kind of streamlining this to get you to the park. But Anzu explains to you, yes, we've arranged a ride for you during this gig. Once again, to keep the anonymous planning of this gig. He'll be out front in an unmarked vehicle. He'll be able to take you anywhere you need to go from now until the press release and after. And because he, like you, doesn't have ties to the city or Arasaka, you pretty much have free reign. And the other thing to make note of is he explains because of Tokyo being so overpopulated, it's even beyond Night City's expectations when it comes to law enforcement and such, that anytime there's an incident, there's a minimum 10-minute wait before any law arrives. So whatever's on site will be immediately would probably have to be dealt with. Other than that, you will have a small window to leave with driver. So at least you have that sort of set up. You go outside with Kenji. Kenji kind of puts on this sort of mask thing, and you see a digital sort of change in his sort of jawline and makeup. He explains to you, Rush, that it's something to disrupt any type of facial recognition in city, since he is a Tokyo resident and works for Arasaka, so he'll be able to be part of it and kind of have the same sort of ambiguous approach or whatever. But you get in the ride, and when you get in, yeah, it's an unmarked, blacked out sort of SUV. You all get in, and a white male is driving. He turns around, he looks very Americanized, doesn't look to have any sort of Asian descent in him at all, and he turns around looking at all of you and says, hey, how y'all doing? I'm Rocky. I'll be the driver for tonight.
Hello, Rocky.
You Rocky?
Yeah,
Hey.
Yeah, just let me know where you want to go, and I got you covered.
All right. Will you be driving for us tomorrow, too?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Well, we'll need to be able to make a quick getaway, right?
Ma'am, I'll have you covered.
Great. I'm assuming we have like a way to instantly call Rocky through our agents.
Yeah, he plugs it into your agent, as well as you as a team. One of the things that Arasaka gave you, which you've been using before, is one of those like sort of internal communicators. It's very small. It can fit inside of your ear to where you don't really require cyberware. Hence, it kind of called like an internal communicator, even though it's not literally internal. But it allows you to communicate with each other. And yeah, Rocky syncs it up to his as well.
Great.
Rocky, can you take us to Tokyo events? We got a little job hunting to do.
Oh, sure, right away. Starts
Is
plugging it
Kenji
in.
with us if we're going there?
Yeah, Kenji's in the back with you all.
Okay.
How you been, Kench? You can call you Kench, right?
Yes, very well. And whatever you want to call me, I am fine.
Company treating you alright?
As always. And you?
been very generous.
I'm happy to have you in family.
How was it like
Yeah.
getting back from God, that whole situation we got you out of with the
Brain dance prison.
DVD? Yeah.
Well, I am back normal now. Arasaka, take care of everything, as always.
Do they have a good like therapy plan or healthcare, that kind of stuff?
The best.
Worth considering.
Perks.
There's
So
that.
Kenji, yeah, gotta be. Why else would you join? Kenji, we got the shapings of a plan for this gig. So what we think we want to do is get Ali here on staff at Tokyo events. We're running things tomorrow. But obviously it's a bit short notice, so we thought we might change the employee roles direct at the source so that when she shows up tomorrow as a roadie, there's going to be no questions asked. And we plan a device, remote detonate it when our target comes into play, and that's it. Job done.
Well, we do
I'll
have a
get
plan
posted-
B.
Yeah, plan B is me with a high-powered rifle in a nearby building.
Okay, very well. I can help with any of this plan.
Yeah, well, but I mean, you're part of the team right now. You got any insights for us? Any wrinkles that you perceive?
I like the sound of this plan. I can add Ali as employee. You can install the... He starts speaking Japanese and Russia, translates as we discussed before. And you can tell Kenji he's not as Americanized as some of the others you've met, but he goes on to explain it. And keep in mind, Ali and Bud still don't understand the Japanese. That brain dance stuff was more of like an Arasaka tutorial and that sort of brainwash sort of stuff, whereas Rush got more of the deeper brain dance, like cultural stuff and all kinds of things. But yeah, he goes on to just explain, like, no, I like this plan. I can get Ali listed as an employee. That shouldn't be a problem. But obviously, it's going to be up to all of you with social skills and your contingency plan with Bud, with the sniper rifle, to make sure that this plan is executed properly and Arasaka's happy. That he can add her as employee, but there's probably going to be on-site workers. That's the only wrinkle he can see. But as long as she's in the roster, that should line up. But again, it might come down to some social skills. Possibly Bud having to clean up loose ends, but he likes the fact that you've planned for that and the fact that you do have those skills, and he's pretty confident that this will work.
Excellent.
Great.
Well, let's do the first leg. Let's get into Tokyo events
Yeah.
and find an access point, right?
I think so. Yeah. Let's try the infiltrate method and see.
Yeah,
see
let's
how far that gets us.
Spy shit. I love it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and
Oh, sorry. Scott.
Rocky pulls up.
That's my one swear for today.
Rocky pulls up and he says, "Yep, this is Tokyo Events right here. Multi-business complex. I believe they're on like the 17th floor. This spot's open 24 hours. You should be able to get right in, talk with the company or whatever you need. I'll be out here. Hit me up if you need anything."
Great.
No problemo.
Well, I'll definitely need you to stick by me for at least a little bit, Rush, because my Japanese is very basic.
You got it.
Great. And it doesn't hurt to have a little muscle either. Referring to Bud.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not me.
What if we just all swapped roles for a day?
Yeah. I got body 5. My muscles, and this is the muscle I've got.
Yeah, but it's the most important one, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get up there. Kenji, you got your cyber deck on you? Tell us as soon as you find an access point.
He nods. Yeah, and you enter the building. typical multi-complex, big open lobby, multiple elevators, emergency stairs, that sort of thing. You make your way up, people coming and going, even at nighttime. This place is active. There could be 50 to 100 businesses running out of this building. It's hard to tell, but it's very tall, very large. You make your way up to the floor he told you. When you get out there, you can see multiple branded signs and stuff, and instantly you see Tokyo Events. You go into that door and you see it opens up into like a bunch of like cubicles and things, like individual stalls. But before you can kind of get into that sort of area, there's a little sort of U-shaped desk cutting it off with all these fake plants and decorations. There's a young girl sitting there. It looks like she's on her agent. There's another phone, another sort of agent, a hologram phone, like she has multiple forms of communication around her on the desk. But she's speaking Japanese on the phone. When you enter, Rush, you can hear her talking about some event going on next month, and the down payment should have already gone through. She apologizes. She'll talk to her boss, blah, blah, blah. She looks towards you and just nods. Carries on talking.
Do you know what she's talking about, Rush? Is it about the gig tomorrow?
No, it's about some gig next month.
Oh, okay.
For them.
She seems stressed. Might be easy to pull one over on her.
Maybe. If that fails, we got cash.
Am I correct in thinking that the strategy is like I'm already pretending like I'm on the books, or are we just trying to find time to get Kenji to an access point?
That's what I figured was the second one, right?
Okay.
We can say, oh, we need to hire you guys, and we just get them talking long enough that Kenji is like, yep, I found a way in.
Great. Well, I'll wait around and see if there is some sort of lull with this conversation.
Oh yeah,
I don't
just
want to interrupt her necessarily.
Sure. After a moment of you chattering with each other and Kenji, you can tell he's kind of incognito doing some scanning and things from the little waiting area where you all are sitting. The female gets done with her conversation, kind of puts down her agent, starts speaking Japanese to you, Russian. She says, "Hey, I'm Fiji. Welcome to Tokyo Events. Can I help you? Did you have an appointment? I apologize. I've been so slammed tonight."
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, we don't have an appointment. How would we go about making an appointment? Please tell me in detail. I need, I've got this brain thing, and I just need all the details, otherwise it won't stick. You know what it's like. Man, you got to tell them 3 times before they hear you.
I can relate to that. Yeah, give me a conversation, Rush.
I can translate.
He's speaking in Japanese?
Oh yeah, this is all in Japanese.
Oh, okay, I have no clue what's happening.
I've got 2 in Japanese. I heard brain thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Allie can pick up enough. You can pick up enough that you know what's going on with the conversation, yeah.
Should I roll my conversation or my Japanese?
No, conversation. You're already fluent in Japanese. This is more of a persuasive moment, if you will.
Okay, that's
keeping the conversation going. Nice. Yeah, she laughs at the male thing, and believe me, I can understand. I've had issues with plenty of males in my life with the same thing. I will break it down to you nice and slow. I'm joking. She starts engaging with you in conversation like it's working. She's joking around. She seems to enjoy the break from normal business talk, but she starts kind of taking you through. She pulls up a hologram, taking you through the website and how you can submit events and blah, blah, blah. And use her referral code. That way they know you stopped in and talked to her, and I'll get you to the top of the list. It's working. Distracted. You can see Kenji go into the system. After a while of that, she kind of like looks over and seems to maybe be noticing Kenji. And she looks a little bit concerned at it. She kind of stops and just says, are you with them? Can I help you? Kind of speaking to Kenji.
He's, I'd like to interrupt. Maybe I will ask Rush to translate for me. I'm a rocker. I'm new here. I've been kind of poached by a nearby talent scout, but I need to make an impact. That's why we're looking at hiring you guys. He's just sorting through my portfolio right now. We need to send a few things off to the label immediately. You know how it is, so we're trying to sort that out on that end, get a booking here to organize the tech on this end. It's a real big event, so plenty of credits coming up for everyone.
Hold on 1 second. She starts speaking English even before Rush starts translating. She's like, oh, hold on 1 second. She gets on one of the computers and she's like, is that you? She turns it around and you see it's Alley Katz, and it shows your image, your garden page. It has you. She's like, that's you, right? Like, you do the brain dances. Like, I know your stuff.
You know my stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, well,
always good to be a fan.
Yeah, I mean,
even receptionists. Receptionists have got to stay off the boredom somehow, right?
Receptionists.
To be honest,
ladies.
I'm a
exactly.
fan.
Guys, this is my fan base.
Well, I'm a fan, but I don't really like show it too much. It's not exactly the most PC thing to get into, but trust me, like, girl, I love your adventures, your little crazy moments, and like, I dig it. I like it. But that's awesome. If you're gonna hire the company to kind of help push you, like, what you're gonna start pushing in Tokyo now? You're going international, or what's going on?
Yeah, that's the plan. And so it's gonna be a real big venture, and I'm sure. I mean, you work in events. It's a hard thing to pull off right. A successful, not rebrand, but a relaunch in a new place that doesn't necessarily know you. It's kind of like starting from 2 steps backwards. But yeah, it's interesting. You say we're kind of hoping for a more broadly acceptable kind of angle, something that's still racy, but is less taboo to kind of bring up in public.
Ooh, I like that. Give me a conversation.
I'm just gonna keep schmoozing and lying.
I'm just slightly worried now that you're known in Tokyo. So when you turn up as I guess you'll be very plain Jane when you show up to work, right?
Yeah, I'll put on a different wig.
Yeah, that's right.
By that I mean Allie will change her tech hair.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, conversation.
I might put some.
Plus, you got acting, you got performance stats, right? You can.
I do. I have
it.
great acting.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the character?
Oh, look at that!
Shit.
Boom.
Oops. I mean, oops, yay.
Yeah, she.
Again, I didn't mean to put my luck. I didn't mean to put my luck in, is what I mean.
Yeah, but either way is better safe than sorry, and you can tell. Yeah, she's into your conversation. She's excited that you're going to use the company. She's bouncing back and forth between Rush and Allie in conversation. Absolutely distracted. Doesn't even notice Bud or Kenji are in the room anymore. Just you guys are holding it down socially. She's into it. But after a while of talking, Allie and Rush, you kind of notice like Kenji finished. He's back to sitting down, and when you notice, he kind of like gives you the look and nod as the conversation kind of wraps up. And Fiji basically says, so yeah, that's anytime. Yeah, so go through the website, drop my name. I'll prioritize that for you guys. This is really cool.
Oh my gosh. What's her name again? Is it
Fiji?
Fiji.
Like the water.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
like
won't
the place.
say that. Like the place, like the water.
I think it's probably underwater now.
Well, it's crazy that they named that place after the water. But anyways, I digress. But it ends. It seems successful. Kenji's happy. She's excited. You see her kind of get back in her age and kind of doing things, and you're able to, leave the building, get back down into the vehicle. Rocky's out front, has it running. You enter. Everything go okay? Where are we headed?
Absolutely. So I'm in.
Kenji, once you're in the vehicle, Kenji speaks up. Again, fluent Japanese, Rush translating with Ali picking up a little, but says that, I've got you added. You're listed as employee. You're supposed to be managing all current and ongoing events as of this date. And I made sure I put in there as of the date. That way, if there's any sort of on location employees or anything that aren't aware of it, they can get into the system or get an update from a boss or whatever, and it'll kind of make sense that you're new, and maybe that's why they didn't know. I'm just trying to cover all bases here.
Yeah, no, perfect.
Okay, well, it's time to find our vantage point, right?
Yeah.
So is that heading back to the area, or do I need to do I need to go to work? Like, if I'm on the books, is it going to be weird?
I guess you need to turn up early tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
You got your work schedule now. You're like, oh no.
Oh, damn.
There's a team meeting at 6 a.m. You got to sit through.
I have missed every team meeting.
Oh, no, the boss is
orientation,
made.
guys. That's when you get all the free pens.
I'm a consultant.
Yeah,
I don't
that
show
means
up for
I
daily
don't
meetings.
and I do no work.
So we need to
Sorry any
find.
consultants.
Yeah, I'm sure our audience is packed with consultants. Yeah, let's see if we can find like a hotel or a motel or something that overlooks, or even like, you know, an abandoned apartment or an apartment for sale or something
Yeah, there's...
that overlooks the conference area.
Yeah, you get in the car, you tell Rocky you want to go scope out the park and the area before the night's over. And yeah, you guys head back over to the heart of downtown Tokyo, over to the Hamadi Kayu gardens in downtown Tokyo. As you pull up, you see the large garden, the sort of bridge over the water in the center. You can see the kind of Shogun museum village sort of set up on the section. And over on the other side of the park, you do see a stage, a podium, some lighting, and you can see like a handful of workers messing with the lighting, setting up. As you approach, you can even hear the sound system going on, people kind of testing it in Japanese and talking to the sound guy. And like, it seems like there's a handful of workers that are setting up for tomorrow's event. But this is where we're going to take our 5-minute bio break as you guys are approaching the park. When we get back from our 5-minute break, you guys will be at the park and kind of take it from there, scope it out, do what you want to do, and set up. I can also, we'll do a perception, and I'll get in, some more details of the area. But everybody in chat,
Excellent.
don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a 5-minute bio break. We'll be right back. I'm going to leave the mics hot, too, so if anybody wants to talk plans with chat or anything else, feel free. Be right back.
Okay.
Ow. Oh my god. I just cracked my shoulder so loudly. Surprised the mic didn't pick it up.
No, I didn't hear it.
Well. If it isn't the old alley rush social skills double whammy.
Alley rush
Should be
one.
like there should be like a combo move for that. Like, you set them up, I knock them down. Seems to be all that, like, how it always works when we do like social skills stuff.
Yeah. The rally special.
Yeah. Rally, not the
Well, I was thinking like Alish, but a lush.
Yeah,
The
it's
lush
not-
special.
Oh, a lush special. It's kind of nice. It's a special that's lush. I don't know. I'm no good with these things. We try and do it at work all the time, depending on like. And as well, we have silly names at work. So like a snazzy and a oddball becomes Team Snozball. We have fun.
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
What do snozberries taste like? Cool. Alright. I am so hungry. I'm gonna actually get some food in this 5-minute break so that Rob can have, you know, someone eating when he flips the camera back into the game.
Of course, it's absolutely required. Rushy Cat Special. That's pretty good, Stink Bomb.
Alright, I'm back. I'm back, baby.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Are you also going to Gen Con, Brandon?
I wish. No, with everything going on right now, I cannot. But
Yeah.
I really want to. I was gonna go back in 2020. I was gonna go with Syrinscape, but something happened and Gen Con got canceled.
Just the funniest thing happened.
Yeah. So, but I'm just jonesing to be able to go back to cons again, and I'd love to be able to go with Syrinscape. So I'm hoping that once things calm down on my end,
Yeah.
It's just right now I can't leave my wife with everything.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I would.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I would judge you if you did.
Yeah, I would judge me too. And what can I say? Stink Palm came up with a good name, Rushy Cat Special.
Rushy Cat! Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love combining character names for silly shit. Because we're doing Avatar Legends at the moment.
I envy you so much. I cannot wait to play that game.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not sure if full rules are out for everyone. I was a Kickstarter, and so
yeah.
I got the rules first, which was kind of great, as we were planning on playing it in some form for the podcast, no matter what, even if it just had to be Kickstarter rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun. It's powered by the apocalypse, and it really helps enforce the melodrama of it, where like you have a character that's basically balanced between two different principles, and you kind of get swayed either side. And if you are playing in that game, you can call other characters out for not living up to their principles, which is really good. So like, yeah, there's a character that's like, one is balance between trust and independence, and like in a fight you can literally go, why don't you trust me, and they have to like roll on their roll between their principles. But it really lends to that melodrama of like, these are teens in a big situation, dealing with war and finding out about the world for the first time. And so yeah, there's a lot of big feelings. There's a lot of melodrama, and it's the first season that we've had with kind of interplayer flirting and romance. And so I've been asking everyone, like, who are you shipping? Except no one's shipping Phil's character at the moment, unfortunately.
Oh man.
No. He's very
we ship him with Justice.
Justice.
He's very single-mindedly focused on revenge, I would say, right now. Is that fair?
Fair, yeah. He would call it justice, but yeah.
Yeah. Justice, revenge, potato.
You killed my father.
Oh.
Now prepare to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the quest he's on.
Oh man, I love that behind the scenes, Princess Bride behind the scenes bit with Christopher Guest, where he's like, yeah, so that day I asked our sword fighting coach if he could just quickly give me some more lessons, because I really thought Mandy Patinkin was gonna kill me. It's just like, yeah, I was kind of a bit nervous with the energy he was throwing into that scene. It was a great scene, and yeah, Christopher Guest is so good.
Yeah.
So weird that he's like, before that he was just like, funny guy, funny man.
So he played the six-fingered man?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in This Is Spinal Tap. I can't remember his character's name, but he's the one that's like, oh, it goes all the way to 11. Same guy.
You know, this is probably the first time me putting 2 and 2 together for that. Now I see it. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't pick that up in the past.
Well, I mean, big hair will do that.
Yeah.
I was talking about that with someone recently about the Stranger Things guy, the D&D guy, Eddie, and it's like, I don't know why, but I find him much more handsome with the 80s shag mullet. To be fair, most people
Suits him.
Add an 80s shag mullet
It works.
to anyone. I dare you.
It's
Get
back,
done,
guys. The mullet's back.
Mullets never left. They just kind of they
Got
They haven't
they,
left this
they
one
got
yet.
smaller, and now they're getting bigger again. It's like the tides, the tide of the mullet. In and out, in and out.
The natural ebb and flow of the mullet.
Truly balanced.
Well,
as
in
all
Australia,
things must
especially,
be.
they,
All right, cool. Ready to go back?
it's,
Hang on, let me.
Make sure you take a bite. All right, here we go. And we're back. Hey, everyone can see us and hear us. I know.
Come on, man.
sorry. Well,
I need a bit more tact. All right, hey, we're back. The team basically was able to get Kenji into Tokyo events and get Alley Cats into the system as an employee. Aside from that, little gift of gab got them through that. And yeah, now they're on their way to the park, basically the gardens where the big press release sort of thing is going to go down tomorrow at noon. As they were approaching and Rocky's pulling up to the park, everybody give me a perception. Yeah, you can see there's some event people setting up the stage and podium. You can see the things I described before, like the big pond in the center of the gardens with the bridge and the old school 17th century Shogun villa setup.
I got a 9. I'm thinking so much about how much I love Arasaka that I'm not noticing anything else.
How much do you love Arasaka?
Yeah,
This
it looks
much.
like Rush isn't basically paying enough attention to what's going on, just kind of waiting to get over there. Allie and Bud are noticing a bit more details, Bud obviously in hypersensitive details, but you can see it looks like there's about 4 sort of tech workers working on the stage, a couple of them down below, a couple on stage, one kind of messing with the lights, looks like he's messing with some type of device as you see them brightening and then going dimmer like artificial sun. Nothing fancy like an event like colored lights or anything. It's literally just brightening the area or dimming it. He's kind of checking the adjustments. You can see another person on the mic saying things in Japanese. You can see a sound booth maybe about 20 yards, 30 yards away from the stage setup, the guy adjusting volumes. Aside from that, you can see a couple work vans behind the stage on the street. Immediately behind the stage, there's a street where you can see the work vans posted up with the logos on each one of the vans for Tokyo events. Aside from that, Bud, you were noticing the buildings kind of on that side of the park, stage side. And you can see, there's a couple mega complexes, like apartment building setups. It looks like our video froze. Hold on 1 second. Hopefully I can get everybody back. Won't be frozen too long. I apologize.
oh no.
Okay, we can move now. That was weird. I was
Yay.
frozen. But yeah, as you get there, you notice, Bud, that there's mega complexes, some apartment buildings and stuff. But you also notice there is like a sort of hospital also on that side. Not really a Ripper Doc, but a sort of hospital. Reminds you of Trauma Team, but Tokyo's equivalent. You can see that there's an attached pharmacy on the bottom level of that. Next to that, you're seeing there's some type of office supply shop. and then an auto mechanic sort of place. Other than that, it kind of widens out beyond, the park and garden, beyond the other block, which is a bit outside of that range. But yeah, that's what you're seeing over there on that side. And Rush isn't noticing much, just the normal park things.
Does Arasaka have a theme?
But yeah, Rocky pulls up. He's where do you want me to drop you off? Am I taking you around back? Right here, park entrance. So, what are you looking to do?
What do we reckon, guys?
And
it's fine. Let's take a walk around.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and for the record, there's no security. You didn't notice any security or something. It's at night. It looks like it's just normal open park hours or whatever,
Yeah. Just a lot of
like pre-setting up for the event.
In all blacks, and steel cap boots, asking each other where the gaffer tape is.
Yep.
On the mic going, itch neat.
Tap.
But yeah, Rocky lets you out. You're now kind of on the side of the park, the pathway leading in over the bridge, over the pond into that sort of Shogun Villa, or you can go to your left, which kind of goes along the side of the park over towards where they're setting up the stage and things.
Now, Rush, I'm just looking at the businesses that face onto the park over there.
All right.
Looks like a docks, Ripper Dock, pharmacy, mechanics. This apartment building there. I wonder if they got any vacancies facing this side.
I mean, that would probably be the best place to post up, right? So,
Yeah.
if you got your own room, lock the door behind you. No one's going to be really sniffing around. We'll just make sure that we check that it's not bugged or anything.
Could be access to the roof, and then there won't be a paper trail.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
All right, should we head up there? Do you
Yeah, let's get me set up.
Set up. Bring a beanbag or something.
That's right. Yes. Classic stakeout stuff. Coffee and a bag of donuts.
Yeah, donuts. I feel like they're always eating like some sort of kebab or like gyros or something like that. Which is the messiest food for a stakeout. Don't get that.
Cappuccino maker.
More sushi.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rob, would the roof be too far away? Would it be too high up?
No, it wouldn't. You'd probably be at on the roof, not many floors. Yeah, it would be, above probably about the 60 meter mark distance from the stage, 60 to 70 meters from the stage if you're up on the roof.
That's doable with a rifle, right? A sniper?
I could check. Sniper rifle, actually that's optimal. That's 51 to 100 yards is perfect for a sniper, actually.
Perfect. Let's get roof access.
Is Rob cursing himself? Or?
So you get, but yeah, you can get into the apartment building, the complex, and you go in. There's residents kind of coming and going. There's emergency stairs, elevators, sort of typical access, bunch of vending machines in this lobby. But you do see there is a sort of reception desk, but nobody's there.
Should we just walk past?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can get the elevator to the roof, right?
Yeah. My concern is that it'll be keycard access. Is Kenji still with us?
Yeah, we got Kenji.
Yeah, you go over to the elevators. It's definitely keycard access. Looks like you need some type of resident pass. But you've got Kenji with you. He instantly finds a little access point to the elevator, a little service access, and is able to get it going. Get you up to the top floor. You pass a couple residents that get on the elevator at one point when you get off. Heading down, a couple coming and going, but no one pays you any mind. It seems like people just assume that you're living there. But up on the top, you do see the emergency stairs that also seem to have roof access. When you go in there, you see that the hatch to the roof, where it says for service, is locked. It has some type of a lock on it, and it seems like it's manual. Kenji checks. There's no system up here. It's just some type of bolted key lock.
Okay, I'll try to pick that.
Okay. Yeah, give me a pick lock. Oh yeah.
29.
Yeah, you get it open, no problem. Flipping the hatch, you see roof access. It has a bunch of industrial sort of AC units and air filtration systems and environment adapters that kind of set the environment inside the building, and all kinds of other things that you don't understand that have to do with building maintenance. But you make your way over, and yeah, there's a sort of lip on the edge where you can post up and kind of lean over, and you have perfect view of the back of the stage and the whole park from up here. But
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's like a vid I watched.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better view.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Now, real question is, how about rapid escape? What's the fastest way out?
I'm looking for fire escapes, something I can climb down the side of the building with.
I don't know. Do you want to be dealing with fire escapes again, bud?
All right.
yeah.
I also don't want to get
Never live it
trapped in
down.
the lift.
Oh yeah, there's a definite fire escape there that the emergency stairs can lead to, and you can see there's an access point from each level going down to it. So yeah, there's a fire escape going down.
But it'd be nice if I can walk out all casual like too. But can you give me permanent access to the lifts?
Yeah, he says, I don't think I can give you permanent access. I would need to kind of fabricate some type of pass or something. Maybe I can create a virus that... hold on, let me work on something. And he goes back over to the lifts and starts messing with the system while you three are still there. You can discuss your plan for a moment while Kenji's working on the system. One thing to keep in mind, this isn't too metagaming, but I do want to remind you that in the rules, Bud, you slept a little bit on the AV on the way here. You're kind of scoping it out the night before, but if you do plan on staying here overnight and sleeping up here, you're kind of out in the elements, which gives you a -2 to all your checks tomorrow because it's not optimal sleeping. You're not comfortable. You know what I mean? You're in stakeout.
Yeah.
So you have a couple options here. You can accept that, stay here, accept the modifier, or you can set up, do whatever you got to do, and now you know it's here. Come back tomorrow before noon. Go back to the Arasaka building to get sleep. As you were told, you can scope out, come back here, sleep in the resident quarters where Rush has been staying in the building as well, and then tomorrow start the gig. But you have those options. I just want to remind you of that modifier.
I should probably be in tip-top shape, right?
I would imagine so, yeah.
It's probably a good idea, yeah. So I'll pick my spot.
Yeah. Sorry, you
I'll
go.
pick my spot, scope it out, make sure the sight lines are good. Kenji gets me, hopefully I can just take the lift out of here. Otherwise, there is the fire escape I can climb down in a pinch. But otherwise, yeah, it looks good to me. It's
All right.
Perfect.
Now,
Hopefully I don't have to do anything.
if the receptionist is here when we arrive, she's not going to recognize you. She may stop you and cause some trouble. Any thoughts?
Well, hopefully I can just, it's during the day. Should be plenty of residents coming and going. I can just slip in with one of them.
All right.
Either that or you're there to take out the trash, but I don't think we held on to any of those uniforms. And they would
That's
be American.
Yeah.
They're Night City uniforms anyway, yeah.
Sir, I think you're in the wrong city. The wrong continent? You're in the wrong...
I mean, that would
think
be
you're in
very
the-
I
funny
took
to
the
roleplay.
exit.
Sorry, I turned left like a while ago.
I swam for a couple days. I was
Really
swimming for a few days, and
Men
But
never
yeah, you
ask
can-
for directions,
you kinda-
am I right?
But yeah, Bud kind of goes over the plan, maps out the best spot, the optimal view. And within that time of setting up, getting the plan, and getting ready to leave, you meet back with Kenji. He's at the elevators just as he says, okay, I think I have a solution. I was able to create a virus in the system for the elevator. I cloaked myself. It should be secure. Bud, you'll have access to the elevator as long as you first press this pattern. So he shows you to access the elevator, you got to press it 3 times, pause 2 times, and then it'll open. Then when you go in, you can access any floor by hitting a certain pattern of numbers first, then the floor you want. So you've got access.
What about roof access? What if it's locked again when we come back?
Well, you'll have to pick it again. That's a physical sort of thing. He can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
There's no system. That's up to you.
Yeah. No, just thinking aloud. I can put a unlock on it.
Kenji being like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still have duct tape. Could I tape over the lock mechanism so that it doesn't relock?
Sure. Yeah, it's a bolt system. So you can absolutely do that again. And all of you get a little feeling of a little nostalgia from the Drift Nation, the Citadel, where you once did something similar.
Propping the doors open with tape. Yeah.
yeah, come on, it's old school.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't even have to do a roll. You got that hooked up easy.
Yeah.
Nice. Duct tape was
That's right.
the best thing I bought when we started this game.
Oh yeah, I mean the dark future still nothing will beat gaffer and duct tape just over
That's right.
anything.
That's right.
The only thing that will survive past humanity, probably.
Yeah, and Twinkies.
But yeah, you're able to rig the trap
I'm
door.
set.
Yeah, you're able to rig the trap door so Bud has access. Kenji was able to drop a virus in the elevator system so Bud can rock the pattern and control it without actually having a resident pass. Obviously, you brought up the condition that what if there's a reception girl there notices or something. So obviously, there could be a wrench in the works, but at least Bud does have access to everything that he needs as long as he can get through it. You make your way back down. Again, no one at reception, the occasional resident coming and going. And now you're back out front. You're basically behind the stage at this point. You can see the workers still messing with some of the trellises, adjusting things. Just 4 workers there and a sound guy just working on the stage and system right now.
Where will you be, Rush?
That's a great question. I don't know. Maybe I could help Slick with the receptionist if need be, or I could be in the audience making sure things go smoothly. I don't know.
I mean, it might help to have 2 eyes actually around the staging area if you are attending. That way we can kind of communicate and get information across on both backstage and on stage.
Yeah, I guess if that's the case, then I can be the one to press the button when the time comes.
That's true.
Yeah, and that receiver has 100 meter range. You can literally, be 100 meters away and still trigger it.
So if that's the case, then I could be with Slick. He could keep an eye on things through his scope and then let me know when the time's right. I could press the button.
I'm doing this solo then.
You got this.
Yeah.
Kenji nods to you.
In my ability is very affirming.
Kenji nods to you. I will be with you.
Great. I feel better about having an even split.
Yeah, Kenji, it would be very good to make sure that none of us are caught on camera. This event.
Yeah, and Kenji explains that when he's there, he'll make it his plan that while you are carrying out whatever plan you have, he'll be scanning for any of the systems and be intercepting any sort of cameras or things that catch any one of you as team members.
And also, Kenji, I know this is a lot to ask. If there's any way you could patch into the communications that the security guys are going to be using, maybe you'd be able to tell them the shot came from a place that it didn't come from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we have to fire a gun, that is.
Yeah, he nods and says that, yeah, if the shot goes off, what he'll do is when he gets there, he'll try to create some type of a virus that he can trigger from his agent that'll release that message, pretending that it came from the opposite end of the park. So it'll at least go out to the immediate park security.
With that, I think we're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, time to get some shut-eye.
Oh my god.
I'm
I
beat.
mean, I hate to jinx it, but like I said, this might be our easiest murder yet.
At least
This
our
time the coup-
best planned.
This time the coup isn't even ours.
That's
I
right.
mean, last time Q wasn't ours either. We just kind of threw out our chips in. But I don't know. It just feels
Yeah.
drama. Oh my god, drama-free. How do Americans say drama?
Like that.
Drama.
Drama?
Drama?
Like that, but
Sounds wrong.
without the weirdness.
Yeah, that's
You are you are
Like-
all weird.
Like
to
that,
us.
but without being awkward. You know.
yeah.
Like that, but without being upside down in a different.
Yeah. And speaking from the future.
Yeah.
But no, you make your way back to the Arasaka building. Rocky takes you back, and Rush kind of leads the way, taking you up a few floors from the lobby to one of the resident levels. And you can tell that this sort of resident level is for lower level execs, not the typical workers. A little above that, but obviously above that have their own places outside of the building. But this is kind of like a sort of residency quarters for the actual building. And it's where Rush has been staying. He takes you in. You see his room it's much like a penthouse suite of a sort of apartment or hotel. Everything you would need is in his room. And then he takes you down and kind of hands you the key passes that Anzu gave him earlier. You can tell Rush had your keys to your rooms. These keys give you access to the room, but they're not like Rush's employee pass to Arasaka, whereas Rush can control the elevators and other things. Yours gives you access to your rooms. Your rooms are just as nice, though. Very much like penthouse suites.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, what are you all doing?
I'm drinking this Kool-Aid. This rocks.
Yeah, what I was going to say, though, is why not everybody just take, not too long, but just a minute or two just to describe your wind-down moment. Each of you have your own alone time in this pimped-out penthouse suite sort of living quarters where anything is in here that you might think of or want to need. You even have your own little private bar, snacks, entertainment, whatever you can think of. But I would love for each of you just to take a moment just to... How are you winding down and catching some sleep after all this craziness that just went down? Keeping in mind what you went through, too, how a couple of you are thinking a little differently than normal, right? So you might have to role play that in such a way. But whoever wants to start it off, how are you winding down?
I go to the roof garden. They've got some cherry blossom trees there that are always blooming because they've been modified in such a way to be able to do that. I'm assuming that that's a thing that could happen.
Oh, I love it.
And so I smoke cigars there, and I call Cypress to talk to her. And that's kind of my evening routine.
Nice. Yeah, and just to give you a little something, when you talk to Cypress, she explains how some of your Arasaka partners have been there and helped move her into this McMansion in the exec zone of Night City, and she's just can't understand or believe that this is all happening, and she's just confused, and she keeps asking that you don't sound like yourself, but you sound in good spirits, and I'm just happy that this is all happening, but I don't understand it, but I'll just be happy when you get back to me in Night City and we can be together again. So you can tell she's picks up that you're not yourself, but she's happy with all the progress, and she's a little confused that it's Arasaka, but she's your wife. She's with it, How's Allie winding down? Going through all this.
I've forgotten the name of Hades' doctor.
Mr. Smith.
The Mr. Smith.
How could you forget?
Well, I knew.
I was happy
You
when
didn't
ELH.
bother.
Yeah, when ELH said Mr. Smith, I was like, yes. I'm not even gonna write that down. I got that one. I got that.
Well, it's always the obvious ones that you
I know,
forget.
it's so
Like,
true.
Yeah,
surely
that's right, yeah.
surely
Yeah.
not. John Smith. Yeah, I'm gonna ring him to kind of find out what the what the prognosis is. Has anything changed?
Yeah. He answers. It's a little bit earlier there. It's the day before. But he answers. He says, "Oh, Allie, I'm glad you called. I've actually been putting in overtime on Hades. I'm keeping her somewhat stable. She's still not responding in a positive way. She's not progressing, but she's not going further down the rabbit hole. I don't know how else to put it, but I'm at least keeping her stable at this point. You mentioned before that if we needed you, you could come in. I think we're at the point, if there's anybody close to her or that personal, and you could be here, it would really help the situation, but we're at a detrimental point. I would need you here, tomorrow morning to help me with this. I was actually going to be calling you in the morning, so I'm glad you called. But would you be able to come in?
I'm in Tokyo. I have a job. It's kind of it's life or death over here too.
Okay. Well, that I'm sorry to hear that. This is horrible timing. Is there anybody else close to her that you can think of?
Yeah, her grandmother. Like, they have their moments, but I'm.
Okay.
Can
you contact her and see if you can get her to come in? I would need someone here first thing in the morning. Like I said, I was going to call you in the morning because at 11 a.m. I'm doing the transition to the other method of therapy, and that's where I could really use a personal touch. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have the address. Please just make sure she's here by 10 a.m. Please, and then I can get her situated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will hang up and I will call Hades' grandmother, explaining to her that, this might be whatever happens. Someone will need to be there with Hades in case this is the last time.
Yeah, her grandmother has a few moments freaking out. I had no idea this was going on, and I know she's been a little off the past years, but I just thought it was the new job, the new friends, just the excitement. She's always been hyper. Allie, she's always been. I didn't see this coming. You can tell the grandmother's actually feeling kind of guilty. The same way you were kind of feeling it, like she didn't see it coming.
Yeah. It's not your fault. If anything, I look. All the blame should be with me. I was there with her every step of the way, but it just all crept up on us. But I know she needs someone with her there tomorrow, and it can't be me.
I'll be there. She's there. You can tell her grandmother is obviously family. She explains to you, Allie, don't beat yourself up. Honey, Hades loves you. You're family to us. I'll be there first thing in the morning. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, no, it's, all my love. And again, she'll hang up and she's going to ring Hades' agent and basically say into the line, Hades, if you don't fracking survive this, I will never forgive you. I love you, and you cannot do this to me. And then she's gonna hang up and probably cry herself to sleep.
Nice. And before we move over to Bud, once again, as seems to be per session, I'll wipe some of the tears from my eyes as I get watery-eyed often when Ellen engages as Allie in this Hades scenario. But Bud, you're in your room. What are you doing winding down tonight? After all this craziness going on, you've been kind of going through the most weirdness with this, being that you didn't succumb to the brainwash, yet you're faking it. So what's Bud doing now that he's by himself in the room at night, winding down?
He's feeling pretty caged in, right? So he's in the belly of the beast. His friends are all brainwashed. So he's going to make a stiff drink, nice Japanese whiskey. those fellas make some great whiskey over there. And I think while he's making that and sipping on that, he'll look around the room, see what bugs and listening devices and cameras there are. He's not going to disrupt them because that would be suspicious. But as a kind of professional curiosity, while he's in there, he can't help it. He's going to be, looking under the lamp, the lampshade, and the hems of the curtains and stuff, trying to keep it casual. Shall I do a check?
Oh yeah, perception.
Oh, not conceal reveal?
Do a check.
Well, perception first, and then do a conceal reveal.
Yeah. Yeah, well, perception is good. That's 23.
Nice. Yeah, the perception, you're finding, a hidden camera in the room. You're finding, a second...
Not very hidden.
Yeah, a secondary hidden camera and listening device. Like, they even have backups and, fault safes and stuff. But you see, but you're not finding anything with your reveal conceal. You're finding the hidden cameras and stuff. You get a feeling that there's more to this room, but you're not finding it. You can tell it's top-notch hidden if it is.
In the bathroom, too? Oh, that is just typical.
Chat, that was made up by the player, not the GM.
In the can, just like flipping the bird at the cameras. God damn it. He's going to enjoy his whiskey, and he's going to ruminate, I think. He's like, he doesn't really know how to deprogram his friends. He's obviously been caught a couple of times where he's tried to make some insinuations and stuff, and they react against him. He feels like he's alone. He's out on his own, despite being here with his crew, his real family. They keep talking about Arasaka as a family, and he feels like, he's losing his. Rush is especially worrying because he's been here, for a week or two, getting this jammed into his head.
Like a year to him, he said, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he I guess he's trying to think about how he might kind of break them out of this. He's thinking about if Ali's got some like brain dances where she like mocks the corpos, maybe one where she there's a a fantasy where she breaks a corpo out of their stayed life and introduces them into the more exotic world of alley cats.
There's gotta be like some sort of erotic genre for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Seducing a company man to the dark side, right? I bet they'd love that. I wish some like some crazy sexy edge runner would take me out of this world.
Some manic pixie edge runner.
Yeah, that's right.
Come save me.
But he's already his wheelhouse. He's not a people person, so he's despairing about whether he's ever going to kind of deprogram his friends or what to do. But a nice kind of nightcap before he goes down for an uneasy sleep, and he's up with the morning light.
Nice. Yeah, and everybody gets good sleep. Like I said, these rooms are nice. They're like penthouse, top-notch living quarters. You're treated well. The environment is all synthetic, perfect to match your biometric. We'll say, you got the best night's sleep here that you've had in a long time. But you get up. Rush basically greets you and takes you down to the company cafeteria, and everybody gets to eat some food, kind of clean up, get back to the rooms, get situated, meet up in the conference room. Anzu comes in. I'm just kind of streamlining this a little bit. Comes in, does a little check, making sure there's no more supplies that anybody might need. So just think about that for a moment, just in case. Other than that, you're able to pick up the supplies that you've already requested and got approved down in the locker pickup. He informs you that Rocky's waiting outside. It's currently morning time, so now you have the opportunity all morning up until noon when the speech happens to do anything you want. You tell me, or we can streamline up to any given point before the speech or whatever. It's basically morning. You've got done with everything. You've got the gig coming up, and I can streamline or we can walk through it. I'll let you take it from here. You can start with, are there any more supplies? Are there any more
I
supplies
think
first
I
off?
thought of everything.
Okay, cool. All right, go on.
What about you guys?
I mean, I'll need some gaffer tape.
You got it.
I'll need some gaffer tape, some steel cap boots.
Oh, I like that.
Clipboard.
Yeah,
You need a clipboard.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even, all jokes aside, absolutely. You put in a request for some things to kind of help your sort of disguise your thing. You're working for them now, so yeah, you totally get some gaffer tape stuff. A clipboard or things to look like you're supposed to be working, not just hanging out. I like that. That was good thinking. Yeah.
I'm paying out as I work in theatre, any of my tech friends watching.
Hell yeah.
And I will have a terrible breakfast of the worst flavored iced coffee. And that one's for you, Mark Oakley, if you're watching, which you're not.
Yeah, is there anything else anybody else needs other than the typical morning rituals, getting all situated, getting in the vehicle with Kenji and Rocky and heading over to the park? Is there anything else?
I will say that Allie won't say anything about what's happening with Hades to the gang.
Yeah, I would like, if you're not saying anything, then why don't you give me either a stealth or a perception, and then I'll need a human perception from Bud and Rush.
Oh, okay. I'm rolling stealth or perception. Yep.
Yeah, you're kind of hiding your feelings. You're not telling them about Hades. You're just kind of keeping that out of the day,
5.
But it's obviously an emotional thing for you, so you've got to hide it,
Yeah, 18 for me. Ooh.
Yeah, Rush, you're picking up on it. Allie is not seeming like herself, and you can tell it's not just normal gig jitters or things you guys normally get. Everyone gets, You can tell like her mind is somewhere else, and it's something bigger than this right now, or whatever.
Are you kidding? Come over here for a minute.
Yeah, is there an issue?
Well, I noticed that you seem a little distracted. You doing all right?
Yeah, I mean it's just a big gig, right? We wanna impress these guys, and I mean, hey, I'm just trying to figure out how to be low-key Allie, right? Blending in. It's not my usual skill set, so I'm being a bit more quiet than usual. That's all. Do I need to roll to lie?
Yeah, since you're kind of keeping up the facade, absolutely. It should be another persuasion, and Rush can contest it again.
This is gonna be tight because I know that.
Okay.
That Rush's social skills are also up there.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
Yep. You can do acting too. I'll take either one of those. It's more persuasive.
I already rolled.
Okay, I like that better, anyways. Honestly, so. Oh man, that's a great roll.
Yeah. And I rolled.
Yeah, you did.
What am I?
Oh yeah.
Rolling to challenge.
Human perception. Human perception would be the best. Trying to read her true emotions while she's trying to cover it up and be persuasive.
I'm gonna hold on to my luck. 13.
Yeah, conversation's over. You feel better about it. Allie kind of explained it, and you're buying it. You're feeling good about it.
Great.
All right. Just know that you can always talk to me if there's ever anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna do great today. You always do.
I appreciate that.
All right.
She'll get back to lint rolling all of her black clothes.
Nice. Yeah, and you get all situated. You get your things together. Get in the vehicle with Rocky. Head over to the park. As you approach, Rocky asks where everyone wants to be taken, dropped off, or what. What you're seeing as you're approaching is the park is just as you saw last night, except for the fact that there's more people. Obviously, there's some people walking around like that sort of Shogun Villa museum area and the normal parts of, but a majority of the people, it looks like maybe a few hundred, are gathered up, where that stage is and podium. You can see the artificial sunlight kind of making that whole part of the park and garden just glow. You can see that off to the side, it looks like there's some type of little VIP area with a bunch of exec looking people. Some execs and maybe security with them privatized. You can also see there's an Associated Press booth. You can see a bunch of cameras and stuff set up in front of the podium and the stage, but in the press booth you see Associated Press. You can see all different brands. You see like Network 54, IMG, all the major international network brands are there. You also see some independent, like sort of localized Tokyo brands there as well that maybe you haven't heard of, but there's definitely a media presence. Behind the stage, you can see it looks like a couple blacked out vehicles, an SUV, some type of like limo looking vehicle. You can see a handful of people standing around. Looks like maybe a couple security guards back there. You can see the street itself is actually blocked off on either end of the block. You can see roadblocks, and it looks like there's one cop on each end of the block, just kind of posted up. But that's what you're seeing at face value. If there's specific things you want to look for, you can ask. You got a good enough perception, you can see pretty much anything that you want, Allie. If there's any questions beyond what I described.
Is there like, does the staff access kind of also run along with the VIP access? Like, you know, staff can kind of move freely in and out of those zones?
Yeah, in a few moments here, kind of scanning the area, you can see there it looks like there's maybe 4 or 5 tech-looking guys wearing like the sort of Tokyo events gear, a couple by stage, and yeah, you see them coming and going. It seems like they can come and go wherever they want. They're working the event. Yeah.
Great. Is there anything else I should be looking out for? I
don't think so. Just get that explosive planted.
Yeah. I guess I'll look out for specifically where all the tech stuff is being sorted, although I would assume most of it's backstage now. Yeah, just like where you have all of those you know, the tray tables with like all the mics and like they're labeled and, yeah, that's where I need to be.
Yeah, no problem. You can easily get dropped off on that end of the block and walk down the side of the block to backstage. What does everybody want Kenji doing, and what's Bud and Rush doing? Everybody fill me in.
Well, I'm going to make my way to the apartment with my big hard case that I'm pretending as some sort of instrument.
You just slap some band stickers all over it.
Band stickers on it, yeah. And I'll head for the apartment block.
What about Rush?
Okay. Yeah, I think we said I'd stay with Slick, so that he can give me the signal, because I'm going to be able to push the button from that distance anyway. So then,
yeah, and then if it is locked, you can talk your way in, or you can unlock the roof. Yeah.
We got a buddy system going on here, so.
Okay, sounds good. What about Kenji?
Well, we'd like him if he can get within signal range, right?
Because the original plan, he was going to go down the park, scan for systems, just in case there's any like security cameras set up to make sure none of your faces are on it. You know, general protecting you guys sort of thing with the cams, unless you have specific things you need him to do system-wise that you would normally have a Netrunner do. You just let me know. Kenji's available.
He's there to intercept comms, right? And
yep, whatever you guys need.
Unless he kind of goes with me as like a translator. I don't know. Would that be weird?
Well, that's, yeah.
If an employee had a translator, if it's not there, you know.
He could quickly feed you a line to get you out of a sticky situation. It's not like you don't speak any Japanese, right?
Yeah, I speak a smattering. Yeah, I guess then he's just kind of like, I guess in the audience, walking around, keeping to himself.
Yeah, he says no problem. I'll keep to myself. I'll circle the event. I'll check for systems, and call me if you need anything.
Yeah.
So he's nearby.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go in order here. Allie first. You're walking down the block. It doesn't seem like anybody is really paying you any mind or noticing until you get to the corner that aligns the blocked off street to get backstage. As you kind of go to turn there, the police officer, the Tokyo PD that's there, he turns to you and says in Japanese something along the lines of, we have a private event, we're blocked off right now.
Yeah, do I have some sort of, like, staff pass, or is it's just my name on the list?
Just your name in the employee list. Yeah, you're in the employee system as an employee.
I'll just say in basic Japanese, I'm staff.
Oh, okay, I don't see a pass. Did you just get here?
Yeah. I just arrived this morning.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to check in with Bayou. Check in with Bayou. He's the manager running the event. He should be by stage. He looks you up and down. You kind of fit the part. He seems busy with traffic and keeping people from turning down. Stage is right there. Mr. Bayou is there. Well, you would know if your employee. Your boss should be down there.
Thank you, arigato. And then I will, head off and get my staff pass, I'm guessing, is where that would be handed out.
Yeah, you start making your way towards the stage area. And Russian Bud, you notice Kenji kind of walk off into the crowd, stage side, but more general public side. He has no problem walking right up since he's going that direction. Russian Bud, you make your way over to street side where the apartments are and stuff. As you get there, you're kind of met with a similar resistance. Rush fluently in Japanese. You can tell the PD officer there from Tokyo PD. He says the same thing to you. Excuse me, we're having a private event here. The street's closed off.
Oh yeah, we're just going to the apartment.
Oh, I'm sorry. You live here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Residents can pass.
Thanks.
He lets you pass. You make your way down, and as you make your way down and into the apartment mega building, you see him kind of like glancing back every so often, just kind of checking, and he sees you go into the apartment building, drawing his attention back to traffic. He's possibly just kind of watching, making sure that you're going where you said you were going. But yeah, you go into the apartment building. It's busy. People coming and going, much more busy than it was last night, being early morning and midweek here. You go in and you do see there is an older woman with an older man over by the reception desk that you saw before that was empty. But as you go in, why don't you and Bud both give me a stealth?
Whistling nonchalantly.
It's a 23.
Nice.
16.
Yeah, you both walk in. They're talking to each other, talking to other residents. They don't even notice you. You're able to make your way right through the crowd back over to the elevators and stairs. And as you make your way back there, we go back over to Allie. You walk over to the stage. You get backstage, and there's workers coming and going. They're messing with some of the road cases, just reorganizing. You hear a couple of the people, a couple of the roadies talking to a man that has a clipboard. He looks like he might be in charge, possibly the Mr. Bayou. But as they're talking to him, they're just saying, yeah, it was just some feedback for a moment. We already got it situated. It was just a cross in the wiring. The volume wasn't set right. It's all good. We're going to go double check it. And the two workers start heading back over to the sound booth in the middle of the park field, maybe about 30, 40 meters away from the stage. And that guy who looks like he's in charge just goes back to his clipboard and just looking over the back of the stage. What are you going to do?
I'm going to approach him. Hi, I need my staff pass.
Oh, staff pass? And again, he's speaking in Japanese. I don't recognize you. I'm not. I'm sorry. Staff pass? Who are you?
Allie. I'm on the list.
Okay.
My company said that you guys needed to hire recruits for today.
Oh, okay. This is just setting me off a little bit. Give me 1 second. And he kind of like turns away and gets on his agent and makes a phone call. Give me a perception.
Come on, dice.
Shoot him.
It's a bit egregious.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
You're not picking up on anything that he's saying, but he's getting into some kind of conversation on his agent, but you're not really picking up on who he called or what he's going over. Back over to Russian Bud. You're at the elevator. It looks like there's a couple people waiting for one of the elevators, and the other one looks like it's on its way down. What are you two doing?
I'm gonna use the code 1, 2, 3, pause 1, 2.
Nice. Yeah. Give me another stealth.
$20.
Nice. Yeah. You punch in the code and. No one even notices. In fact, as you do that, one of the people that's standing there in the crowd just like looks over to you and it's like, oh, I already pressed it. It's on its way down. Goes back to talking, not even noticing that you're doing a pattern. But then, yeah, a few moments later, elevator comes down, opens up. A couple of the people that were standing there waiting get into the elevator. I imagine you and Bud also get in.
Yeah, we punch for the top floor.
Yeah, and you're lucky enough you don't even have to do the code because there's some residents in there. They've already accessed the elevator. It's on. As they hit their floor, you're able to just kind of hit the top floor. It goes up. Residents getting off. You two alone going to the top floor. And you get up there. You're on the top floor. Not a lot of people around, even less than last night. Nobody coming and going. You're able to kind of go over to the hatch, which is still duct taped from last night. You're able to easily get it open and access the roof. So both of you are now
originals.
On the roof.
Still the best.
Allie, back.
So,
what was that, Rush?
sorry, I'll just give Slick a smack on the back and say, look at this. It's almost going too smooth.
Yeah, don't say that.
And back over to Allie, you after a few moments, that Mr. Bayou character gets off the agent, turns to you, and again, speaking in Japanese, you're picking up on enough though, and he just says, I'm sorry, I just called the office. It looks like we're supposed to have a new employee on the list. They weren't even aware that it was there. What was your name again?
Allison? I'm assuming Kenji put in my real name.
Okay, and then he gets back on his clipboard. You see him typing stuff in. Okay,
For sure.
programs
I
in.
just really want to clock in.
No problem. I got you. I'm just gonna have to manually
Thank
do
you.
this. It looks like it didn't pass on in time. It looks like you were added, but no one added you to the actual event. I don't know how this is possible, but okay.
I mean, they said, do you want to shift yesterday? So I knew it was going to be a last minute thing.
Yeah, no problem. Here you go. And he takes out one of the passes, kind of swipes it in the middle of this hologram where you see this sort of code register off. The pass turns green. He hands it to you. Yeah, this should get you access if anybody has any sort of problem or whatever. So yeah, we've already got everything set up. What? I didn't even catch the department in the list, but what are you supposed to be running here?
Sound. Sound is what they told me. I'm pretty good in all areas, but yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we've got sound. If you're helping out, could have used you earlier. We had some cross-wire feedback thing going on. I don't understand it myself, but booth is over there. Points over
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I'll just flash him a winning smile as I find men love helping out a flustered girl.
Yeah, you get all that and head over to the sound booth. You can see a couple of the workers. They're kind of following the cables back over to the stage as you see a sound guy working on all the faders and knobs and volumes and equipment there. Just making sure things are set up as you make your way there. Back over to Bud and Rush. You're on the roof. You see Allie socializing, making her way over there. What are you two doing?
Flip open the case. Pull out the
Case of
parts of
beard.
the sniper rifle. Start screwing it together. You know, the classic movie scene. Get the tripod, pop it on the edge. Get myself comfortable.
I'll have the detonator checking, making sure it's still got a signal. And just not hovering my thumb over the button.
I was going to say athletics check to see if you accidentally send Allie. No.
What's this? I don't think it's working.
PvP.
Yeah, you guys get
The
situated and set
equalizer.
up, and
The eagle has entered the nest.
Yeah, Allie, you hear that on your way to the sound booth. That seems like they're where they need to be.
Again, we never agreed on code words. Very.
Oh, come on, you can pick it up from context.
Great. Well, the egg is in the basket. I don't know what you want. I'm in.
Yeah, I got eyes on you. I can see you're inside.
Great.
Good view of the stage too.
Let's put on a show.
Yeah, you make your way over to the sound booth, and you can see this young man kind of messing with the equipment, and he's just working. Doesn't even notice that you walked up.
Is there how neat is everything? I want to see if there's any like cabling that's really messed up, or if I mess up some cabling and then get them to fix it.
Yeah, give me a luck check. Give me a 1d10. Let me know if it's under your luck, if you're lucky enough.
Oh man.
That they've got some messy cabling to deal with.
Nah. I got a luck at 2. I rolled a 3.
Yeah, everything looks
literally I've only got 2.
Yeah, it
2
looks
out of
very
10.
nice and neat. Those techs were just kind of reorganizing all the cables, as a matter of fact, and kind of setting them back to the stage and putting them under those mats and stuff, working their way through the crowd, getting set up.
In which case, I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Is it better to just go through pretending as if I'm doing mic checks, or is
Well,
it?
they already said they had an issue, right? So you should check on the issue, and give it your own personal check. But this isn't fixed at all. Let me just hang on. It's a hardware problem, and then you can go change the mic over, maybe.
Cool. I'll do that. I'll go like as if I'm checking through the mics. I'll kind of look worried and like just kind of like shaking my head as if like, this still isn't working. Just some little micro acting.
Yeah, you want to go up onto the stage where the mic is set up on the podium? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, you make your way over, getting up onto the stage. You see those couple tech guys down in the front stage in that sort of little security pit sort of area where all the cables are kind of coming together. They're messing with the connections. You easily get up on the stage. You can see that Mr. Bayou in the back still going over stuff with the clipboard. He's getting back on his agent, just kind of handling some business. But the second you get up there and start messing with the mic and just looking at it, you see the sound guy kind of like lift up and notice you, and then presses a button, and you can hear his voice through the monitors on the stage. And he says, "Excuse me, who are you, and why are you messing with my stage of microphones?"
Sound. There was an issue. It's not resolved yet. It's hardware.
Hold on 1 second. He starts making his way over to the stage, comes right up on stage. Give me...
Ollie, what's happening?
Yeah, you can give me a... well, first off, during that time he's walking up, you can respond to Bud asking what's happening if you want. But then also decide if you want to do an acting or persuasion, since you are lying to this guy. You can make that decision, too, as he's walking. He's making his way over.
I'm just gonna, like, mutter to Bud. It's nothing. We got this.
Alright.
Sorry, just looking through my skills. Oh, they're exactly the same. Got exactly the same stat.
Yeah, then go with persuasion, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, the issue's not fixed. I need to reprogram it, and this is gonna take some time. If I don't do it correctly, everything will be kaput. Where is it? Persuasion. There it is.
Nice. Very persuasive. Yeah, he makes his way to the stage, and you can tell he's upset. Like he's upset that you're messing with his stage equipment. He kind of has that vibe, and he gets up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
No, we already checked this. Everything is good. It is fine. And the second,
upset. No.
Yeah, no. The second you say those things, his attitude changes. He gets up. No, this is everything. We already checked. Wait. Oh, physical issues. Say, oh, okay, maybe it's not so good. Okay, you employee. He kind of like looks up and down. He notices you have the pass. Okay, yes, you check, fix, make sure it's go very well, very well.
Yep.
And he goes off stage, back to the sound booth.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna be fiddling with the mic, you know, unplugging it, and planting my explosive, and just doing a lot of that. Like, again, I'm bagging all the theater techs I know, but every single one of them seems to always, like, as they're fixing things, just seems to be like talking under their breath of like, no, and that shouldn't go there at all. So
I don't know who set this up.
Okay, and then if that's yeah, so I just need to reroute. Okay, yep. We can do that as I plant the explosive in.
Nice. Give me an acting while you're up there acting like a disgruntled crew member handling some stuff.
Yeah.
And back over to Bud and Rush.
This is to you, Mark Oakley. You magnificent.
Anything specific you want to say or do while Allie is handling this? Feel free to interject at this moment.
Just gonna keep an eye out for the VIP, the target.
Nice. Yeah, give me a perception.
22.
Nice. Yeah, and Allie is absolutely playing the part. Even for a moment while you're doing it, one of the other tech guys that's down messing with the cables looks up and is like, "Yeah, I didn't set that up. That was one of the other guys." And he goes back to doing it. Like they're believing it too, you know, like that you're dealing with an issue. Everyone's accepting that you're the new employee. Like, great persuasion, great acting. Everything you're saying and doing is working. So give me a reveal conceal. This is more just to give me a conceal DV in case someone were to inspect the mic prior. And that's just in case. I just want to set a DV in case I need it. So give me that conceal reveal.
Yeah, question. Bronx said that's a +2.
Oh no. He made the mistake. He made that bed. I'm going to make him sleep in it. That's a -2 for me. No, I'm kidding. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm good with that, Bronx. It can be a +2.
Great. Can I use it? Does anyone mind?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. No, use it, and your mighty 2 luck maybe. This is the key.
Oh, she used it. She used up all that.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
It's a 13.
Nice.
It's not great, but
nice.
Hopefully no one else knows what to look for.
Yeah, exactly. You have this micro thing. I mean, it'd have to be someone specifically checking the mic for something, you know? I just wanted to sit there just so I have it in case, just to gauge your skill. But yeah,
-2.
you work on it. Yeah, exactly. Bronx, keep me in mind, buddy. But you got you mess with the mic, you get that little nano explosive in there, you're talking to yourself, you're acting like you're there. It's going perfect. You're nailing it. You get it set up. You're done. You can now leave the stage. Where are you headed? What are you doing at this moment? And I'll say this.
Sorry, me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You get done. I want to know where you're headed now that you got it planted. But to influence that, let's take it back to Bud. That perception. You do notice in that limo that was parked behind stage. Now that it's been a couple hours of setting up, messing with things, walking around, dealing with all this stuff, it's getting a little closer to noon. You notice the limo open up. A driver kind of gets out, looks like he's some type of security, opens the back. You see a woman get out, another security behind her kind of step out. You recognize her from the printout and the hologram info that Anzu showed you guys. That is definitely Victoria Shin, which is the CMO that you're supposed to put the hit on. But she's out. She's backstage. A couple security next to her that got out of the limo. Looks like she's talking to Mr. Bayou. They're just talking. And you notice Allie gets done messing with the mic.
Sorry, is it my turn?
Well, I was going to go back and ask you where you're going after planting it. I was just giving a moment in case Bud wanted to chime in and let you know he's got eyes on her or anything like that, because I know he was looking for her.
Oh, yeah.
The prey has entered the open ground. The eagle has... Eagle has a clear view.
The chair is against the wall.
Yeah.
I repeat, the chair is against the wall.
You can say something. I don't know. The badger has dug his den.
The needle is in the haystack.
The
Beautiful, I love it.
The fryer.
But yeah,
I repeat.
Never knew you had such a flair for the play on words, but
I've been watching Spy Vids. What can I say?
okay. Well, in which case, I guess my main job is done, so I might just kind of like tend to extra things backstage, like kind of extra menial work, like just clearing stuff out of the way, and like if there is a set list, kind of like crossing things off. Just kind of like I'm an extra hand on deck, and I want to be seen to be doing some actual.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, and still playing off on your acting skill. You got such a good role in that. You're still playing that same role, and it's believable. You look like you belong there. You're kind of doing an inventory. You're straightening things out. You got the mic set. You're backstage.
Maybe retaping some stuff
Sure.
down.
Oh yeah, you have
like,
that. You have that gaffer's tape. You're ready to get down. So yeah, you start working, and it's believable. You look like you're part of the crew, and you're backstage. You notice Mr. Bayou talking to Victoria Shin. You notice she's there. You see, yeah, she has a couple security with her. The limo's there. There's another blacked out. Like everyone's there. It looks like it's getting close. It's getting to be about that time. But before she's about to take stage and possibly give her speech, back over to Russian Bud. You're on the roof. Yeah, give me a perception. Both of you.
All right. I hope your sense of dramatic timing is on point.
What would it be without a cinematic moment, right?
Yeah. 18.
17.
Nice.
Yeah, right as you notice Alley Cat's getting down, kind of, still acting. You see Victoria doing her thing, and you're looking. Both of you hear that distinct, that same distinct creak noise, that sort of that little slight that the trapdoor makes when you first open it, accessing the roof. As you both turn, and you see there's one of those generic security guards that the building has. And he just lifts it up and kind of looks, and then he notices you two. He sees that you have a rifle set up. He just looks shocked. And back over to you, Allie, before we get their reaction and we do some type of initiative check. Allie,
Oh god.
you're backstage acting. Everything's looking normal. It looks like Victoria Shin is about to take the stage. Is there anything else you might be doing?
Not really. I guess I kind of maybe want to be moving a bit further backstage. Is there, like, basically moving further backstage so I can, if need be, make a quick exit. Would there be like a monitor, like as you get further and further backstage, like a monitor to see what's happening on stage?
Yeah, there's a monitor feed that gives you a sort of generic feed from all the different associated press. And you can see it's basically like a segmented screen, and everything's just kind of right on that podium, pretty much. Like just a tight shot,
Cool.
waiting.
Yeah, then I'll just kind of like, as I'm kind of like, still looking like I'm doing stuff, but gradually moving away, just keep an eye out for what is actually gonna go down.
Sure. Yeah, so going back over to the roof, if you couldn't tell already, I brought up the imagery that we kind of had going to set the mood of Tokyo. I wish I would have brought it up a little earlier, but there it is set on the stream. I love those sort of neon vibes, that little collage feeling. But, Rush, Bud, click on your token, give me initiative, as all of your eyes make contact with this sort of rent-a-security guy.
Wrong place, wrong time, friend.
The squirrel has dumped it into the nest.
The squirrel has found a nut, I repeat.
The squirrel.
Squirrel has found a nut.
That's funny.
Seriously, guys, it's just getting confusing at this point.
It is. I'm getting... but yeah, Bud, you notice that when he gets up there, he looks shocked. His eye contact with both of you. Then he looks at your gun, then back at you, and you can tell he's having a moment where he's can't believe what he's seeing, and you've got the initiative on this. What are you doing?
Poor guy. I'm just gonna shoot him in the head.
I don't know why more people in Cyberpunk don't just like keep out of everyone else's business.
Yeah.
If I was a security guard, I would be like, yeah, I don't see nothing.
Yeah.
Why would anybody
no thanks.
ever be a security guard in Cyberpunk? I would never, right? Like,
Yep, another quiet night with nothing's going on.
Just reading my book. Just like this.
but yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Can I just draw a handgun and pop him?
Well, drawing it is an action because you didn't really have it out, unless it's a pop-up or a hidden holster, something that can pop it out. But if it's normal holstered, you'd have to arm yourself as an action.
Reach him?
Just charge at him.
What's your move?
Yeah. My move is 7.
Yeah, you can. Without running, you can reach him, actually. If your move was 6, you could not.
Okay, so he's gonna pop out the hatch, and in his moment of like, my reaction time is fast as from my cyberware, and before he knows it, I'm up on him, and I'm grappling him up.
Nice. Yeah, give me your brawling.
You should have called in sick.
Yeah, that's right.
They always should.
Yeah. Honestly, everyone.
This is Japan. He can't. It's not. They don't do that here.
True. Chuck a sickie.
Fighting skills. Here we go. Roll. 15.
Nice. Yeah, you grapple him up. He's still in shock. I mean, you grapple him, you just go. He even drops the sort of little baton flashlight generic security. It like has like a little mace spray baton flashlight all in one. It's just like a generic rent-a-security thing. He's like, oh, he like drops it as you have him grappled up. Rush, what are you doing?
Man, I was gonna stab him with the knife, the monoblade. Well, actually, what I was gonna do is I was gonna tell him that we had clearance and he shouldn't be up here.
You could still go for that.
Oh, yeah.
You can give me a persuasion.
I feel like it's gonna be a little bit hard to persuade him while he's grappled up.
Well, maybe it'll be
Witnesses.
easier.
We couldn't. That wouldn't work anyway. You can't have witnesses.
But either way, you can give me that persuasion because if that's what you said, regardless of Bud thinking there shouldn't be witnesses. And remembering, I mean, I already did the roll, and he's on a -2 to all checks at this moment. He's a little preoccupied with being grappled up by this scary solo-looking guy.
Okay. With my action, would I be able to duct tape his mouth real quick? I have a move of 7 as well, so I'd be able to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you could get up there, but you wouldn't, be able to arm your, you'd have to pull out the duct tape as an action, unless something's already in your hand. But you could.
It's always hard.
But you could still, you could pull out the duct tape, walk right over to him, say your persuasion check, and have the duct tape ready for your next action if that's what you want to do.
All right, I'll go for it. So we were told specifically that nobody would be coming to interrupt this operation. We work for Victoria Shin. What are you doing here?
Nice. Give me that persuasion.
Yeah, we're defensive snipers. Get it? It's clever. I didn't think of that.
I'm gonna put a little luck on this.
That's what you're here for.
half of my luck. It's 18.
Nice. Yeah, he's panicking as Bud's holding him, and he instantly stops fighting. It's like, oh, okay. Look, nobody told me. You're not on the roster. He's speaking in fluent Japanese, but again, Rush, it's perfect for you. But yeah, no one told me. I had nothing on my list. I was just doing my rounds. I saw this was taped open or something. I'm sorry. I wasn't on the list. I'm sorry.
Am I allowed to respond, or?
Oh yeah, you can. You're kind of a little bit out of initiative now. Like, it worked. He's submissive. Bud's got him grappled. He's not fighting back, and he believes what you said.
Okay, listen. I understand this was supposed to be secret. Nobody's supposed to know that we're up here helping Victoria Shin. It's just we think something might go down, and we're supposed to stop it. Okay. Now, you have to forget that you saw us here.
Oh, okay, I didn't see anything. I didn't see you. He looks right at you, buddy. You're like, gotta grab. You're like right here. I didn't see you.
What's he saying?
He says that he didn't see us. Do you believe him?
I don't know. I don't speak Japanese.
You can give me a human perception. Human perception check. Bud gets a -2 because he's in the grapple, and then we'll give another -1. Get a -3. -1 because you don't speak Japanese. -2 because you're in your grapple, Bud. But Rush, perfectly normal. Yeah, you're not getting a read on it, but Rush, you believe you can tell
the language.
Yeah, you believe him. He's telling you the truth. He looks scared, and he's like, "Okay, I didn't see you." I like, he's like trying not to look at you now. He's like, "I just okay, sorry."
Rush. What's the play?
I believe him. Let's let him go.
Okay. I'll let him go.
You just kind
A little shove.
I thought that was like I snap his neck.
Yeah. No, it's just like a little shove.
You
like
let
a
him go
intimidating
from
shove.
life. But no, yeah, you
From the edge of the building.
yeah, no, you jolt off, and he looks scared. He kind of lets go. He like straightens his uniform, like picks up his little baton mace flashlight thing. He's like shaking, puts it back in his belt. He's like, okay, again, and he looks towards you. Rush is like, okay, again, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And he like backs down and goes back down the hatch, closing it.
It's so hard to do a job nowadays. People willy-nilly walking in on you. If they didn't have locks on bathroom doors, you'd have guards coming in all the time.
And back over to Allie, as Bud and Rush, you make your way to the edge. You notice Allie messing with the back of the stage, and just after that little fiasco encounter with the security, it was just the amount of time that now when you look over, you see Victoria entering the back of the stage. She's actually going up on the stage, and you see some of the people in the crowd kind of like clapping. You see some flashes going off, people taking pictures with their agents. You see the Associated Press kind of gathering up. They're all kind of got their cameramen, their people. Like it looks like it's about to start. Back over to Allie. You see Victoria Shin enter the back of the stage. She's going right up to the podium. She's kind of waving to everybody. The crowd kind of dies down, and she goes into her speech. You're picking up enough, Rush. You're picking up all of it. You can hear it even from way up here because of the speakers and it echoing throughout the garden and park. And she just goes on with this speech of how Meryl, Asukaga, and Finch are investing their partnership with Arasaka, that faction of Arasaka, basically to establish worldwide security once again, and they're going to help kind of give faith and trust back to Arasaka, at least this faction. And you can even tell that this is a little bit influenced by the other factions, because Allie doesn't pick up on this, but you do because of being fluent. She even insinuates that like the Hawk faction, the Hato faction, the other Arasaka factions are not the true rights to the throne of Arasaka Corporation, and they're the ones that you shouldn't trust, but this is the one that they've partnered with. This is the trustworthy one. Everyone should feel safe, very safe and confident working with them, and that's why they've invested in Arasaka. And over to you, Allie, what are you doing as she enters the stage and is engaging in this speech?
Don't trust this Arasaka. Trust this Arasaka.
That's the vibe, absolutely.
Who has the detonator? Is
Rush.
it Rush?
Rush, yeah.
But it's your turn in initiative right now.
Yeah, I guess I think I'm just gonna keep continuing to just slowly exit backstage while still looking like I'm working.
Sure. Give me a stealth.
Because I think I've done.
Oh, your acting skills are top notch. You look like you belong there and like you're working, but you're sort of exiting during the peak of the speech is a little odd as a worker. So like, absolutely need a stealth right there.
Yeah. Nah, that's
my lunch break.
Yeah, I didn't get a lunch. 19. I was promised a
nice.
lunch.
As you're sliding back.
I still have to clock off. But.
Yeah, and as you're backing, you see Mr. Bayou just all attention on Victoria. He's right at backstage. You see the other techs. I mean, all eyes are there. You're stealthily working your way away from the stage down the block, like no one is noticing you. And back over to Bud and Rush. Bud, what are you doing? You see all this kind of going down. She's
get right back to the scope. Rush, well, we had our little... Oh, I don't need that, you're right next to me. Well, we're having our little encounter. Looks like the target's in position.
All right, she close to the mic?
Yeah, she's up at the mic. She's giving that speech, like I said before, and she's just in that time where you can tell because of being fluent that she's talking, little backhanded, little crap talk on the other factions and hyping the one that they're partnering with. Everyone should feel safe that they're partnering with them.
So when she says the word safe, I'll give it a beat, and then boom.
Nice. Yeah, right. No athletics check needed. The button is not evading you. You have it in your hand, and right when she mentions the safe, saying that everyone should feel safe, and people kind of like smile. You can even see like the mood change, like she's winning the crowd. You give it a beat. You press the button, and that's where our stream ends.
Oh.
You don't want us to go.
So yeah. No, we're gonna end this session right there at the moment of Rush pressing the button. I know we went a hair long, but it's we had to get to this moment for the session to make sense. But Rush, you're about to press the button next Thursday when we start. That's exactly where we're gonna start from, is that moment, and we'll see what happens. Thanks so much to chat for being part of our stream, hanging out the whole time and through our break, also contributing points and stuff. Bronx, you get one. All right, you got one. Take back. There's no more. Next time you make a mistake with that negative, it's all mine. No, but seriously, thanks for contributing, being part of the stream. Really appreciate that. Thanks to the players. Another great session, top-notch role-playing and fun. I have such a good time streaming with all of you. Everyone, make sure you show some love to Syrinscape. And just a reminder, me and my beautiful wife will be at the Syrinscape booth helping out at Gen Con. So make sure you stop by, say what's up, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
As you know.